Winslet had the right idea. Let that motherfucker die. Wow. Welcome to Marital Hate.
My name is Doug.
My name is Stacey, and my hair looks like fireworks.
Welcome to a special July 4th Independence Day edition.
Soggy Independence Day. It rained here in Cape Coral
Pretty much all day. It would be sunny.
I wouldn't know.
Rainy,
I was
sunny,
sound asleep.
Rainy, sunny, rainy, sunny, rainy.
I would
sun
know.
and rain at the same time.
And then home in Massachusetts.
It was pretty much rainy all day until like maybe a half hour ago.
Tracy says, "Hey y'all!" And actually, at the top of the hour, we have something to celebrate today. Douglas, would you like to celebrate today?
I would love to celebrate.
Would you like to celebrate young love?
Many years of togetherness.
I actually want to read the story because it was really beautiful. Tracy said the same in Boston, which is what we heard. And Josh is here. Happy Slavery Day. I don't know how this is Slavery Day.
It's
but
treasonous Victorious Day. I don't know what it is.
And LOL, I actually have a really funny 4th of July story.
You do?
When I worked for a foreign company, I had a call on my, I can't name the company, but I had a call from the CEO on
working
on the 4th of July. He knew it was a holiday and it was a negotiation issue. I needed money and that I needed money. And then I needed something else. I don't know what it was, but we had a call at like 5 a.m. on an Independence Day that went like all morning. And so he's like, at the end of the call, he's like, enjoy your turkey.
Enjoy your turkey.
It's like, oh, my turkey. Okay. He was Polish. So I don't know. Maybe that's what they think. Anyway, I wanted to get back to I don't know if
are you supposed to be reading other people's stuff?
Yeah, okay. I have on good record that this person would be totally cool with this if she wants to chastise me at some point. I just thought it was a beautiful story.
Chastise.
So Tracy, so here at Marital Hate, and I don't know if you've been here before. It looks like there's 4 people. I see 2 that I know. 2 could be total strangers. They could be crazy. They could be stalkers.
People are smart. They're going to tune later when hopefully there's some fireworks around.
Well, I mean, stick around. You never know what's going to happen. So I am on the tail end of some cannabis oil because I was in a lot of pain today and I had to take some cannabis oil and I slept all fucking day. So what happens is we have a live interactive podcast. So if you comment on whatever platform you're on, be it Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube, we see your comments and we interact with them as we have time. So we'll pull them up on screen. If you comment after the broadcast, we'll still respond to you. You just won't be live, but that's okay. And the thing that's amazing is the people here are like the haters, which is what we call our followers. The haters, they've all become friends with each other. They want you to be their friend. They'll be your friend and they're fucking awesome. So, one of our awesome
it's like we're
awesome haters
to awesome things.
Our awesome haters, Tracy, had an amazing post about love today, and I think it's amazing. And I know we're like a couple days late for Pride, but we're gonna go with it. So we met 27 years ago today by fate. I went to visit my cousin. I was 14 years old, and you were just about to turn 16. An older woman,
very young love,
and very young. Like, do you even know about the birds and the bees?
Do I have to have a talk with you, Tracy?
Did they not tell them the birds and the bees? And that's how they ended up with 2 ladies together. And they were like, oh, well.
Like, okay,
we like each other.
We're going to work with what we have. So I'm happy to sit you 2 down and have a little fatherly chat.
Explain how that works to them. I think that they're making it work just well. And great. And they're making it work better than 99% of the straights in the world. So let's go with that. So I did want to come to meet you because I hadn't seen my cousin in years and wanted to know her again. She was like, no, come on. So I went reluctantly. You opened the door in a bathing suit and jean shorts as you were vacuuming the house. This sounds like a porno. Is there a video, Tracy?
I missed the vacuuming when I read it.
Zach called himself a proud hater. Zach's been hating us for years now.
Oh, no, I think he meant pride hater. I think he's anti.
He's not anti.
Oh, okay.
Come on. I did when I was 11 for my first time. Sad to say. Oh, Tracy. See, now I feel bad.
I need to have this talk.
Let's all have the
I'm going to go back and I'm going to get time and I'm getting a DeLorean. I'll go back. I'll talk to your 11-year-old self.
We can all talk about
it. See if that helps. I don't know if it's
I'm having a moment of talking about your delightful things in your life. We can talk about our inappropriate sexual experiences another day. And unfortunately, my problem is that Trace says not to feel bad. My problem is that I like my only coping mechanism is humor. So we joke about a lot of inappropriate stuff
never good
here. And unfortunately, or fortunately, we've become very close with our haters. We give it right to them. And so really the epitome of being a hater is for us to give you a hard time on national podcast
media.
Like television podcast. I don't know, maybe. Tracy says kids need to know sooner. I agree with you. But not like sooner. Do you know what I mean? Like an age appropriate level? Like, do you like my fireworks? Like I think kids need to know things at an age appropriate level. And the thing that they need to learn early on is consent, not consent. And it's actually something we're going to talk about with consent, not consent means something entirely different. We'll talk about that later. But we're going to talk about that in boundaries, how it starts in childhood. Like it starts like as a little bitty baby. Now, I don't believe that shit about like, oh, can I have your consent to change your diaper? Are you kidding me?
Nobody ever said that.
That's the thing now.
Consent to change a diaper.
Yes.
Who said that?
Idiots.
Apparently.
No, it was a whole thing. It was like covered in like news stations and it was idiots. There are idiots in this world. Can we agree on that?
Oh, yeah. No,
okay. Well, there you go. So back to the story about the non-idiots. And Tracy says we need to laugh. And she's brilliant. I mean, she's always brilliant. And she agreed. Correct. Age appropriate. But I want to get back to this beautiful story.
Beautiful story coming.
She was like, no, come on. You opened the door to a bathing suit and jean shorts and you were vacuuming the house. Again, sounds like softcore porn to me. But they're children. So it's, really bad. Your cousin got a call at the house after that. We flew and visited each other and talked daily. Sorry, you and I sat for over an hour. Every year after that, we flew and visited each other and talked daily. Those were the days when long distance calls were a thing and my parents were pissed at the $600 phone bills.
We're going to have a little
Trace,
chat.
I think you're my age, so that means like 1994. Like you were probably making like $8 an hour. Like
it was not good.
But I worked and I always paid them. And I said, hey, I could be out doing God knows what with this money, but I am sitting in my room talking on the phone safe, and you know where I am. And I gotta say, it seems like despite the fact that Tracy was running up quite the fucking phone bill, her parents were relatively supportive of her being in a same-sex relationship. And that was a long fucking time ago.
Know. They just thought it was some weird.
I think that they knew, and I think that I have to applaud her parents for supporting her, because that was a time where today parents don't support their kids. No. This was at a time where was like.
Well, it wasn't a million years ago.
Your kid is gay. It was a million.
Right?
The 90s was a million years ago.
Yeah,
like homophobia seems to have had it's been like a slow downward slope, and I think I don't want to get into
ever bottom out.
I don't know that it does or doesn't bottom out, but I will say that that I don't want to get into that because I'm talking about love, and I'm hoping that somebody's going to hear this who might feel otherwise about same-sex relationships and may think, wow, that's really beautiful.
I will say this about these phone calls. The key to a good relationship is communication. And apparently, you guys started.
I think that they needed a better long-distance carrier. Perhaps some of the
Imagine if there was Wi-Fi.
Cell
Imagine
phone
the
calls.
shenanigans that would have been on like Skype.
Did you guys get on like a bulletin board system and do some online chat with dial-up? You could have done that. Save some cash. They did not know at the time. Oh, scandal. Wow. Okay, hang on a second. I want to know when they knew. Well, I think my dad knew, but my mom didn't. Wow, I'd like to know more about that. Like, when did they find out? How did they react? Because that was a good conversation we had with Nolan. He said that we handled it perfect when he came out to us, because we were, we need to be the parents that are like, yeah, we knew. But we were like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
no
and like, okay, whatever. Like, are you happy? That's all we care about. And gay inherently means happy.
But my thing is that, like, if you're gonna do that, make this big announcement, like, maybe I should have bought him a cake or something.
Didn't we do something? We did something.
We did something. Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Nolan, you want a cake?
We tried to take him to Provincetown.
We are always down for cake. Do you want cake? We'll have cake.
We tried to take him to Provincetown.
Whatever kind of cake you want to have. Oh, yeah. Well, that's a whole story. I would love to circle back on that one at some point with him, not the world. Or the world. Anyway, back to this beautiful love story. I'm sitting in my room talking on the phone, safe, you know where I am. Fast forward to 23 years ago when we became one. Wow. We committed our lives to each other. It was the best decision I've ever made to date. To the world, you may be just a person. For me, you are my world. I would be lost without you. I have known you for more than half my life and am so much better for it. Thank you for being mine and loving me unconditionally. I love you, babe. And so I will say this. What a beautiful, beautiful story. I feel like Becky in my mind is like this like next level rock star because I've heard all this amazing stuff about her, but I've never met her. And I mean, I haven't met Tracy either, but I feel like she's like my bestie.
They're both rock
Like
stars.
I feel
They're
like
both,
I have these amazing friends. So I just want to share this. Tracy, I hope it's okay, but I just have to show this picture of God. Just they're such a beautiful couple. And this was them a million years ago. And they actually Becky just graduated from yeah, I could see where you think that they look
like
like
the same glasses.
Doug used to work with them and couldn't
I
tell
never
them
saw
apart.
You together. I would see one, I see the other. I'm like,
they're just a beautiful couple.
Freaking me out.
And we're so happy for them, and they're just amazing. And we're so proud of Becky for her recent graduation. And today I called my dear friend Tracy to ask her a question about animal decomposition because so he's not here yet. It's fireworks. Somebody has fireworks in their pocket and they're happy to see you.
War over there.
It could be. So Trace says, I told my mom after I moved down with Becky after graduation, she was like, good luck telling your father. So I chickened out and wrote him a letter and told him, he was like, you're such a chicken. I have known for years. That is fantastic. What a wonderful story. And Trace says, thank you for the tribute. Thank you. Like, honestly, like, there's so many people, like, I'd like to think Doug and I are like a good example of a happy relationship, but we're both divorced. And here you guys are, OG lesby. Did I call you OG lesby? Oh my God. I want to get him a t-shirt that says that. Tracy, can I just tell you, it's such a good thing that by the way, sad news to report, we did not win Powerball last night, but the jackpot's going up. We're going to get even more money. And then we can get some OG lesby t-shirts made for the ladies.
I don't care.
Maybe some like personalized license plates for for Tracy's truck. I think you need truck nuts, by the way.
I still think that's a good idea.
Truck nuts and an OG lesby bumper sticker.
Lezby. Is that how you?
You tell me, because I realize this.
That's too many
that
letters.
I say things that are probably offensive, and I'm just like super proud of you. And please know that it comes from a good place. I think you know me well enough to know. But people watching this might be like, "Oh my God, what did this crazy bitch say?" That cisgendered white woman. P.S. I'm bi. I like ladies. Tracy's got like she's working on a backup plan for me.
Yeah, it's like
I do love.
She wheels me out. I'm like Weekend at Bernie. She wheels me out here.
You know what the problem is as much as you're a fucking pain in the ass, I love your cock. So
what can I do about
that? Although last night on my gratitude, I thanked the universe or God or whatever deity you choose for the dick I was going to get last night, and I did not get any dick. It was like rubbed up on me.
It was not. Yeah, it didn't.
But I was too fucking tired for anything. And then today, I woke up in so much pain. Yeah. I woke up in so much pain, and so because I woke up in a tremendous amount of pain, there was very little happening in the sex world. I did everything I could think of to make the pain stop. We did meditation, we did yoga. We did detox bath. I did TENS unit. I took a copious amount of turmeric. I did extra stretches. Finally, I took some cannabis oil, and I slept for the majority of the day, which sucks because I wanted to hang out with my little friends down the street because I would have swam. I would swam in the rain. And then I wanted to go over there for like a cookout, and they're doing fireworks tonight. And by the time we're done with the podcast, I'm going to be fucking sound asleep. So I'm bummed out, but I'm really grateful for the invite, and they're such nice people, and we really do have a fun time hanging out with them. Tracy says she loves that OG lesby. It rhymes. I like it. She's spelling it with an S.
Yeah, you only get 6 characters on a plate though, so we got to work on LZB.
LZB. LEZBE. I don't know. We're gonna work on that. You're the marketing guy.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Tracy says more money. Yeah, dude, that's one of the many t-shirts we should be selling in our t-shirt shop that we have. We do have a t-shirt shop, believe it or not. It's called Vintage Worcester. It's on
Cafe Press.
Cafe Press.
Vintage Worcester. It's all the places in Worcester that went. I had this idea. I launched it in probably like the late 2000s, And it dawned on me that everything in Worcester closes eventually, and then everybody talks about how great it was. So I did all these shirts for these closed restaurants, supermarkets.
Yeah, but tell them the story.
And things of that nature. So I printed up a bunch of the shirts. I went to the arts festival that they have in Worcester, which has become quite the thing. And people were just coming in and looking at these shirts. Oh, I used to work there, and this, that, and the other thing. What's that?
My glass Oregon bead that is in my hair broke. So there's like literally broken glass in my
Everywhere.
hair. Broken glass in my hair.
It's like a crazy lady.
People
living
step
in
in the pool and they just don't care.
So anyways, I printed up all these shirts. People are coming in. It was like a trip down memory lane. It did very, very well. The next year, the next 6 months later, they wouldn't let me in the arts festival because they're like, oh, you don't have the copyrights to those and it exposes us as a thing. Now, vintage shirts from, like, I had Caldor, I had Spags, I had all these things from Worcester, and now everybody else has them. And
you should have bought the trademarks.
I actually thought about buying the trademark, but I couldn't get Spags at the time. So, anyways,
you could have gotten the other ones.
So, but yeah,
gotta love Florida. You're always finding shit crawling on you. All right, so yep, it's called Vintage Worcester.
And
oh my god,
Anna's here.
Anna's here. She's saying, how are you feeling, Stacy? Sorry, back to it's called Vintage Worcester, correct?
Yeah.
Anne
Vintage
says,
Worcester.
how are you feeling today, Stacy? I'm going to tell you, I'm better right now than I was this morning, but I'm in a lot of pain, and I got to tell you, it's a little buggy in here tonight.
Yeah.
I just had 2 bugs on me because of the water. Not the water. Sorry, the rain.
The rain.
It makes things a little bit buggy. So I wanted to go through the Boundaries book before it got too dark to go over it. Oh my God, Tracy said I heard Caldor maybe making a comeback.
Oh, nice, because of my shirt.
Ooh, I love Caldor. Well, and a lot of things are going away, like the Christmas tree shop. They just opened one in Estero, and that's going to close too. Like they just opened it. We should get over there before it closes. We don't have any money.
I think they were like closing like last Saturday.
Miss Stacy, BS, please. I don't know if he's saying bitch, please, or this is bullshit, please, or get to the fucking book already. I don't know, but we're getting there. So, here we go. And Todd, of course, saying hi to Anne. Anne saying hi to Todd. Tracy says hi to Anne. Tracy says hi to Todd. Todd says hi to Charlie. Charlie says hi to Anne.
It's like the good night scene in the Walton.
Just so you know, we want you to be one of us. So if you're not already, come, because you'll have friends. Everybody knows your name and they're always glad you came, but they don't always need to know that you came. I mean, they need to know that I came because I will tell them every fucking time. I did not last night, but Doug did. Just so you know.
Thank you.
Okay, so to the Boundaries book.
You're welcome.
So this book, so basically we always have a book that I'm reading and then I share it with everybody, you guys. It's like I'm doing your homework for you lazy fuckers. So it's called Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. And the introduction of the book basically talks about how they're thankful for their parents for teaching them. And it just goes to show about how boundaries are rooted so deeply, in the beginning of time. We're going to get into that deeper in the book, but I wanted to tell you, they went through a day in this woman's life, and, to show what a day without boundaries look like and how you end up feeling at the end of that day. Is there like something on my left shoulder, like a bug down?
Anything.
It's like,
I don't see
it's
anything.
like, so itchy.
No, there's nothing there.
No, it's on my titty.
Oh, we did it. I will say this, that yesterday.
Are you getting off the topic?
No, it's about this book.
Okay.
Stacy read this book and said, what was it that you said about the book?
This book should be called Stacy, You Suck.
And then today she read a new paragraph or a new chapter, and she's like, Stacy, you don't suck.
Yes, but we will get to that chapter later. And you guys, I hate to tell you this, but you're way behind me. So, actually you're not, because Anne actually told me today that she's reading it. And Anne says, thank you for saving us the typing. Hello, Todd. Hello, Charlie, if you're here. Charlie is not here yet. I don't know what he's doing. Todd, bean sex. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I know.
I was too high to grab my notebook. I didn't even know where it was. And so I messaged Todd and I said, remind me to talk about bean sex on the podcast. We'll get to bean sex after this book. Okay. So this woman wakes up and she's exhausted. She shuts her alarm clock off because she's exhausted, which means she didn't go to bed on time. And she was up late working on her daughter's pass. And the reason that she didn't do it is because her mother showed up the night before and wanted to hang out. And her mom is like recently widowed and she feels lonely. And she's like, okay, Mom, I'm going to work on this costume. I'm like, glad that you just dropped on by, but I'm going to work on this costume. And her mom's like, oh, I would never get in the way, blah, 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 of martyrdom. And so, of course, she stops what she is doing. She doesn't get it done. And then, she goes into a meeting and of course she's late because she didn't set freaking healthy boundaries. If you don't get up and have a morning routine where you take that time for yourself and put yourself first for the day, you're pretty much fucked from the get-go. And I realize a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people are in this mode where they rush, but like it just sets the tone for your day and your life by getting up and having quiet time that is your morning routine. It sets the tone for your day and for your life because you're saying I come first and then I take care of everyone else, because in order to take care of other people you have to take care of yourself. I don't know why people are lighting off fireworks.
Yeah, it's not even dark.
It's like sunny over there. Like this, I know what you guys are seeing here is like a little overcasty.
Actually, if we move this way a little bit, they might.
But you can't see anything in the sky. If we could see it in the sky, I would move.
All right.
I'm not going to. I am just going to fucking scratch myself until my skin falls off.
I'll watch for bugs.
Dude, I'm telling you, they're coming for me. So she got up. She tried to talk to her husband about feeling like he was not. And Stacey said, "I'm glad you realize you don't suck." Oh no, I know I don't, but like sometimes I suck. And it's funny too because I love that Anne is so protective of me and always reminding me like, "You're great, you're great, you're great." I know I'm great, but I have flaws too, and I know that too. So like I'm very self-aware and I'm working on myself, and I'm really proud of my self-awareness because I think like the self-awareness, like if you acknowledge your problem or who you are, is the first step to changing it. And I'm constantly working on myself, and I will be till the end of time. So anyway, this woman shows up at her meeting. She's late because she didn't take time for herself that morning because she didn't get the right amount of sleep. These are two crucial things. You need to get enough sleep. You need to go to bed at a decent hour. My thing lately has been going to bed at 11, waking up at 6. That would be my perfect world. Sometimes someone is snoring his fucking head off or having a fucking epileptic fit next to me, or there's fireworks, or there's barking dogs. But other than that, I get right to sleep at 11. The waking up in the morning, still a challenge for me. But I do have narcolepsy and chronic fatigue, so give me a break. I went from 7 to 6 recently. It's new. I'm working on it. I'm going to get to a solid 6 every day. Right now, I'm in a solid 6:30. Pretty impressive. I'm telling you, the shoulder is so itchy. So anyway, she's late. She's trying to get out the door. The husband's pissed off. The kids barely make their rides. She gets to work. She's late. Everybody's staring at her. And then she's like, her morning's going okay. But then she has this friend, and the friend calls her and is like having some sort of a crisis because his friend is always in crisis. And so instead of taking her lunch and taking care of herself, she tends to her friend's needs. The friend never reciprocates. Like she's always just helping this friend. The friend never does shit for her. And, but she's just trying to be a good Christian. And the thing is, because this book does have biblical undertones, there's a lot of talking about like, oh, church event or church this or whatever. Like one thing that happened in the thing is that she was supposed to go to this church retreat and she was so excited about it. And the person that was organizing it, it was going to be her time to recharge. And the person who did it set a boundary, pulled out for personal reasons, and then she said, oh yeah, sure, I'll do it. Even though she didn't want to, because that's what happens is you say yes to things you don't really want to do. Then you end up resenting it and it just makes you miserable. And this is where you start to realize, oh shit, I'm the fucking problem. And it's funny too, because, and like, I knew that I didn't set boundaries and that was a problem, but I didn't realize like to what extent, how much of it was my fault. And especially because you realize, when you're doing too much for other people and you're not taking care of yourself. And I'm not like looking at my husband when I say this, but he is right there. When you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. And that is the number one thing I think caregivers fuck up on. And I have to literally yell at the man to get him to do anything for himself.
Look,
it's a problem.
This podcast to get bad mouth.
It's not to badmouth you. It's to give you a kick in the ass. I am actually kicking him in the ass. I don't know if you saw there was a little thrust there. Look, he's doing a little thrust there.
Come on over here. So you don't kick me.
I might kick you. But the point is if you want to take care of anybody, if you want to be happy yourself, you got to take care of yourself. And if you don't want to do something, don't fucking do it. Like, I don't want anyone to do anything for me if they don't want to do it. Like, that's like, because it's just worse. It's worse than not doing it at all. Tracy says, agreed. I'm just assuming that she agrees with everything I say because I'm awesome.
Well, there's that.
But I'm sure there's something brilliant in there that I said.
Yeah, probably.
So anyway, then on top, so she missed her whole freaking lunch. Her husband's not paying attention to her. Then there's this guy at her work, her immediate boss, who's like, oh, it's the very fucking last minute on this project, and I need you to get it done by like 9 tonight. So, even though he failed to plan, and he makes promises and forces every other people to deliver on those promises. She that has been a career problem for you. And so, where's the problem with that one? The book could also be called
Doug Sucks.
Doug, you suck. If you're watching this, I know there's some other people that I love dearly in this group. Every fucking one of you that needs this book. I love you guys, but we all need it. I'm not the only one who sucks. Thank you. We're all going to get better together. We're better together. Okay. So anyway, they call her dependable, faithful, blah, blah, blah. Those people, by the way, rarely get promoted. They rarely get raises. Set those boundaries, bitch. And then of course, they talked about, there was a couple little quotes that I had. So the day in the life. So one thing that she realized is that, that the therapist realized, is that trying harder doesn't work. So like if you're doing the wrong thing, trying harder doesn't work. You need to do the right thing. Can we just talk about how I have stroke face today? It's been like that for like 3 days. It's like keeps going. I was noticing
you spent all of your day inside and most of it sleeping.
Yeah.
Yet your fingernails are filthy dirty.
I'm constantly scratching.
I don't know what's going on with that. But like
it's my cooties. Leave me alone.
It's not like you dug in the dirt today.
No, I'm just constantly itching. If you guys have ever noticed that, I'm constantly scratching. It's part of the line. So trying harder does not work when you're doing the wrong thing. Then being nice out of fear, which is like what she did with her mom. How many of you guys have done that? How many of you have been nice to someone because you're afraid that it's going to hurt them, or that they're going to be manipulative, or you're going to be the bad guy? We've all done it. Trace says, taking care of yourself so you can take care of others is how caregivers fuck up on this. This is what I agree to. Yes, absolutely. Trace says, yes, we all need it, but this is why we are friends. Yep, you're right. So then they also talked about how taking responsibility for others isn't working. So like, how many times have you seen somebody, and I've done this in my life and I'm getting better at it, where the person doesn't genuinely want help. They don't want to get better. They want someone else to fix their problems. And if you fix someone else's problems for them time and time again, like there's a difference between a boulder that someone carries, like a traumatic loss or a major event in their lives, versus the day-to-day. So yes, we all need help carrying the boulders in our life. But you can't help somebody that doesn't want to help themselves. And you have to kind of know the difference. And it's kind of hard. It's something I've really struggled with. And I've gotten better at it. Like lately it's been like, I help someone. And I'm like, oh, they never wanted to help themselves. I'm getting better at it earlier. Haven't you noticed that? Like I'll say, oh, I just talked to so-and-so. And I'm like, they're not ready. And it doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It just means that they're not there yet. And, they're a work in progress. And all you can do is, if you care about someone, be it that they have that's struggling, that they have, be it any problem in their life, addiction, maybe they're in an abusive relationship, maybe they're having problems at work, maybe they're, whatever their problem is you have to kind of like be like, okay, wait, like I'm going to help this person. I will hold their hand, but I'm not going to throw them over my shoulder and drag them kicking and screaming to a better fucking life. If you want to carry me like a fireman, I'd be down with that. You can whip out your hose. I don't know if it would have like the proper amount of flow though, because it has a bend to it. So we'll talk about that another day.
You ever seen those hoses in the, like in a hotel where they're all wound up in the 18th floor or whatever? Yeah.
They have to unwind to have the...
That's right. They got to unwind.
Is it going to unwind more? It's more like... but that's pretty impressive.
At least it hoofs.
Anyway, and then of course, the whole thing about boundaries is that which people don't realize is like, even if you lived in like a hippie commune, you would have your own little space. You would have your own little area. And what makes you're very distracting.
Sorry, I get bored.
If you're bored is boring. You should be part of the discussion. You should be engaging.
I haven't read the book.
But that's why you should be listening. And
this book is all about how I suck. So
it's can you seriously?
I'm kidding.
I don't like your kidding. I do not like that. I'm setting a boundary with you. We are in the middle of the podcast. These people are taking time out of their busy schedules to listen to something and learn. Perhaps you might listen and learn and ask intelligent questions to the audience.
All right. So now I've become your audience.
Did you see that boundary right there? Boundary.
You know what my audience is?
You can do what you want to do, but this is
up your ass.
This is what this is what I want to do.
Okay.
And I would appreciate it if you could respect the boundary I'm setting of I'm speaking and trying to educate someone about something. And once again, if you could just shut the fuck up, I would be done with this by now.
I'm not laughing.
Fuck him. Okay, so what they talk about is I'm like actually pissed at him right now. See, seriously?
I'm trying to come back.
But like, you know, it takes me a minute in between things. It would be a great time for you to ask questions or say something intelligent, maybe share a relatable story. I don't know, respond to the comments, or I could just do the podcast by myself while you float around like an asshole.
Float around like an asshole. How does an asshole?
So, you know why it's hard to set boundaries for people? You set boundaries your entire life with people and they fucking ignore them. You literally say to someone, hey, I'm doing something that's important to me here, and they're being a dick while they float around on a fucking flamingo. Yes, I said fuck 10 times. Write it down, bitch.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm just pissed.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I did.
You should be sorry. You did.
Book.
And you disrespected our guests.
I'm sorry, guests.
Tracy says, yes, we all need it, but that's why we were friends. We already got that one. Yeah, well, because I'm doing everything myself while you float around like an asshole. I'm not done being mad yet.
It works for me.
So you're not really sorry.
No, I am sorry. I'm in a flamingo. I'm trying to get involved is any way I
can. You know what? If you don't have anything nice to say, shut the fuck up. Okay. So, have you learned anything from this?
Sorry, I got a case of the case. I've actually learned many things from this book.
Charlie would love this. Charlie thinks it's hilarious when we fucking argue.
I'm afraid. Of you.
90% of the time, we're doing the podcast, you sit there and you're like, I'm trying to have a serious goddamn moment.
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing. I can't stop laughing.
Go inside.
I'll sit here.
The next time you act like a dick, I'm flipping you over, and I don't care. Call the police that I assaulted you, and I hope you drown. That's my boundary right there. Because if you don't set a boundary with people, they will continue and continue and continue to the end of time. And they talk about that in this book. She tried to talk to her husband about her feelings and her needs, and he was asleep and ignored her. She tries to talk to him all the time, and he ignores her. Okay. So then they talk about you could say something intelligent while I look for my next line. No, you can't.
I find that I overcompensate because of fear. That's something I learned from that book.
Which is why perhaps you should actually listen to the book. And do you know that people who don't respect other people's boundaries are the people that do not have boundaries themselves? It's one and the same.
Interesting.
So they talk about having property lines, like, you know, when you have your house, like, for example, and it's so weird because you don't realize how important property lines are until you live in like a neighborhood like ours where the houses are on top of each other. And so it's like you have a property line and there's their property and there's your property. And it's like, it's nice to lend your neighbor a cup of sugar, but like, you know, you might not want to give them every piece of food you have in your house. And the example that which a lot of us will do, how many of you will give everything you have to someone? Things that you can't afford to give away. I've done that a million times. And so they use this as an example of sprinklers. Apropos, we have sprinklers. Not that we need them today. By the way, I put water in the pool this morning and it rained all fucking day.
Yeah.
what they're saying is like, okay, it would be like if you have sprinklers for your lawn and every time you turn your sprinklers on, it waters your neighbor's lawn instead of your own. And that's really what people do when they have no boundaries. They're like, and their own lawn is, by the way, dying at the same time because the water is all going to the neighbor's house. There's a little bit of fireworks. Can't see it. It's very low and it's too fucking early to light off fireworks. What is wrong with these people? So you have to confuse responsibility and ownership in our lives. It's a problem with boundaries. And so we need to set mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual boundaries for our lives to help distinguish from what is our responsibility and what isn't. Something I'm working on. And it says, can I set limits? There's like a list of questions just to ponder. Todd's going to check out. He's checking out his mom in a little bit. He will return in a little bit. Thank you for setting a boundary with us and communicating that boundary, Todd. We'll be praying for you and your mom as we have been. Please let her know that we are. Marital hate, and you guys make me laugh. Stacey, you're so cute when you get pissed off. Yeah, that's the problem. I'm cute when I'm pissed off. And so people think it's funny and they do it for fun. Oh, Zach, I don't know if he's still here, but Zach,
yes, it's I'm sorry. I'm going to go back onto my shirt. Zach loves to, what?
You and Zach will fucking do it for hours. Like, you just pick on me. The two of you love to get me riled up.
Oh, when you're riled up, it's like, it's tirade. Like the tirades are so good. The tirades are so good.
Okay, well, you guys have seen some tirades. If you haven't seen a Stacey tirade before, I suggest you go back to every other episode. There's usually one. Would you say every other episode has a Stacey tirade?
Every other, maybe not every other. Tirades but yeah, there are a lot of good tirades.
Okay, so these are some questions to consider, and I want you to think about them in your head. Can I set limits and still be a loving person? Yes, you can. What are legitimate boundaries? Telling people that makes me uncomfortable. Not giving your shit away. Not, having your time be your time and not letting anybody like lord you around. I really feel like I look like I'm having a stroke.
You look great.
No, look at my left eye. It looks droopy. And I think part of it's that the eyeliner is kind of worn off on that side.
See, I was thinking that one was not droopy. It was going up. Like a cat.
Is that a little better?
Oh no, it looks like you're trying to hold up your eye.
That's the point I'm at in my life where I have to hold up my eyes.
Without it.
Thank you.
There you go.
What if someone is upset or hurt by my boundaries? Well, then fuck them. They can be hurt. They can be hurt. How do I answer someone who wants my time, love, energy, or money? It's really funny. I'm mostly good at saying no to someone who wants my money. I don't really have any money, but I'll give small amounts or whatever. But I'm more reluctant to give money than other things because we don't have money. But I have given money, and I have given money to people that did not use it for what I intended it for, what they communicated for, or that I've given them money and then they go on vacation. I don't go on vacation. I gave you money because you were desperate and you're on fucking vacation. Are you kidding me? That's it. This has happened more than a couple of times. And then my love, the thing that I realize is I will always give my time and love and energy to people. And what I forget is that those things are priceless. Especially with me being sick, like I have such limited time, and the only thing I have to give is my time and love and energy. And if I give that to anyone, it is more precious than any amount of fucking money on the planet. And you better recognize. Then it says, so I want you to think about that. Have you done that? I think we've all done it to some point. And then why do I feel guilty or afraid when I consider setting boundaries? Probably deeply rooted in childhood. Probably you're repeating childhood patterns with people who don't respect your boundaries, much like what occurred when you were a child. So perhaps you said, oh, I don't want to hug this relative, and you were forced to hug that relative. And I think like one thing I did to my daughter Victoria that I feel absolutely terrible for in retrospect is we'd want to have family pictures taken, and she would get so upset about it, and I would make her be in the family picture, and I finally gave up, and it was heartbreaking, and she hated me, and I feel terrible about it. And so Victoria, I'm genuinely sorry. I I just loved you so much, and I just loved your sister so much, and I just wanted family pictures. But your need was more important than mine, and I'm so sorry. Say something.
Take a breath.
No, you talk about something else for just a minute. Let me compose myself.
No, it's true. Well, you really have to think about. Well, here's the balance of this book. Is it your needs, or is it somebody else's need, or the way you want to make them feel?
As a job as a parent is to put your child's needs first,
Yes,
and that is not something I did a great job at right there. And I'm sure I did it to my other children. I'm sure there's 1,000 ways I did it to all of my kids, and I assure you, I would never do anything to hurt you, and I'm so sorry that I did.
Okay. Well,
this book, it's called Stacey, You Suck.
But at the same time, you can't let children and quirks and everybody else rule the roost. So there's got to be some level of
but there's a different thing. It's not a level of that. I'm talking specifically about ways that I acknowledge and know that I violated my children's boundaries, and we all have done it at some point, because we wouldn't be living in a world full of people with no fucking boundaries if people had done it. So like, let's own our shit, which I do. And but I will say that when I got to, like, I think it was like chapter 3, I was like, oh wait, I really, for the most part, instilled boundaries in my kids and made them feel safe and secure, and I'm really proud of that. And but there were definitely times where I fucked up. I am a human being. I did my fucking best by myself, and under some pretty rough circumstances.
And they do say that kids are looking for those boundaries.
Yes, if you do not have boundaries, and it's so funny because, and like, our friend Jen comes down with the kids. Jen and Lenny, our neighbors, they come down with their kids, and I kind of let them, like, let them have fun. We're like, I don't want to say we're like grandparents, but we're like grandparents. Like, come over, have fun. We'll give you healthy food, and then we'll spoil rotten. We want to respect your parents' boundaries, but we also want your parents to fucking relax, because you don't have to be perfect at our house. You can just be a kid. It's okay. And so I'm trying to find the level of making sure that I respect my friends' boundaries, both of my friends, Jen and Lenny, and that I support them as parents. And so Jen's giving me a look more than once where I'm like, okay, I'm being a bad girl. But I'm like, girl, like, there's stuff that, like, and I'm not that I'm telling Jen how to parent or not parent, but I would say that retrospect for me is there's a lot of stuff that I got upset about that I shouldn't have gotten upset about. And it's like, dude, just chill out. You're just trying to be a good parent.
Right.
You're just trying to be a good parent.
You know how at the time.
And the thing is that you get upset about stuff that really doesn't matter. And I'm not saying Jen, I'm saying I did that. I see parents do that. I did that. And I'm sure she gets upset about stuff that doesn't matter sometimes. And sometimes maybe she lets stuff go that doesn't, because she's a human being and she's an amazing, despite the fact that you are flawed, every one of us, you can still be an amazing person. And, I'm not saying that my friend Jen has any flaws. Of course she has flaws, but she's an amazing mom. And I'm sure, and I know for a fact that she questions everything that she does. And that's the sign of a good mom right there. Yeah, anybody who's questioning how they're doing as a parent, boom, you're a good parent. I like, if I had like a little wand, I'd be like, you're a good parent. You're a good parent. And then Tracy said,
you're a bad parent.
Tracy said, no, everybody who's trying is a good parent. Tracy said, you're the best big sister I never had, probably because of the shit you have done in the past to make you a better person today. Absolutely. And the funny thing is I haven't really done anything all that exciting. You'd think I had this like wild past, but I really don't. I was mostly a mom. I've had some adventures, but I was mostly a mom for the majority of my life, even to my own mother and my little sister. This book helps to aim you see the deeply biblical boundaries where they operate in the character of God, his universe, and his people. So, yes, it's a little Bible-y, but it's peppered in. You probably wouldn't notice most of it if it weren't for the fact that they write that John 3:16 crap. But I will tell you, having read this, it makes me want to reread or re-understand the Bible on a deeper level. However, I don't want to actually read it because I don't like reading Shakespeare either. And I would go to any religious service where I could go in a tank top with no bra and a skirt and have dreadlocks and have people be nice to me. And if I felt up to it, I would go. So if you want me to go to your church with you and you happen to be local and you want me to check that shit out, I'll go. But like, again, I wear this tank top thing with the built-in bra, not like an actual
It's
bra.
like the Lord.
It might be like ping ping for Jesus. You can't see it in the sky, or we would turn it, but they are getting closer. And I wear a maxi skirt, and this is me. I can get through an entire church service without saying fuck, not once. I can do a whole church service.
I've seen it.
I might have to let him out when I get to the parking lot, but I'll do it in the privacy of my car, which doesn't have any doors. So yeah, it's possible that children in the parking lot will hear it, but I'll try to keep it quiet. Okay. So then that's our chapter 1 of boundaries. So tomorrow we will do ding, 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 chapter 2. So I will say this. You could consider this boundaries chapter 2 for tomorrow. You could consider this to be your own personal lecture on the book. You could buy the book and read along. You could read ahead so you can intelligently contribute, or you could just listen and you could still intelligently contribute. Tracy, I didn't acknowledge that properly. I just read it, and I'm so sorry for that. Thank you. That is the nicest thing. I love you so much. I appreciate you so much. And I even love Becky, and I don't even know her. So there you go.
What if you don't like Becky and it's like one of them, like,
oh my God. Actually, that's kind of a problem right now. That's kind of a problem right now. I have a couple of people in my life who shall remain nameless. There's a couple of them that I like. There's a couple, perhaps there's a couple of people that are together, and it's not ideal. It's not good for either one of them. And I'm like,
well, it's like most of our viewers. They like you, they don't like me.
I'm like, what could you do that would make your life happy? Oh, you're in a relationship you feel like you're stuck in, or you feel like you can't do better.
Interesting.
Let me drop some subtle hints to other people I know that I think that might be a good match for you. Perhaps. I'm not looking to break up anybody's marriage, but if you're in a relationship where well, obviously if you're in a toxic relationship, I'm going to tell you need to get out and heal yourself before you can get into another relationship. But still nothing we can actually see. But it's not really dark yet.
Still not dark.
We get another half hour before it's going to get good. So, but if you're in a relationship and I talk to you, and I have several people like this in my life that are in relationships that are just not going the way they should, the way the person deserves, or maybe they're with the wrong person. And I'm like, you can do better. You can do better. And so, and that's more about me than it is about like anything else anyone does. It's about me. I was in bad relationships and no one said to me, like, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out. You can do so much better than this.
Until you left the relationship. Then they're like, what was that clown?
Amen. Did you have that happen? I did. Do people say that to you when I shove you across the pool because you're being a fucking idiot?
No, everybody loves you.
Not everybody loves me. There's an event every summer for people that hate me called StacyCon. You can get tickets. It's in Rhode Island. Tracy says, hell yes, I can do better. Then Doug, get me a nice lesbian with a power tool. I mean a power tool and a power tool because I need a power tool.
She might be talking to me.
Do you really think that?
No, I really don't.
Especially after your behavior tonight?
Yeah, I apologize. Some real jerk wouldn't apologize.
No, a real jerk apologizes and doesn't mean it.
Oh no, I didn't.
I'll take a no apology over a fake apology any day. She says no. I love Doug.
Oh, okay, I get to stay. Thank you.
I don't know. But yes, Tracy is agreeing that there's people watching this right now. Okay, maybe not. There's only 4 people watching this. There's 3 people. Well, yeah, no. I'm thinking about who's watching right now. So there's people, who are going to watch this later or whatever, and you're in a bad relationship and you could do better. As a matter of fact, there's people I know that need to make like a little clip of this portion of the video where we're just saying, we're all, Tracy, Doug, and I, we're all saying, here, I'm going to pull this up. So if anybody wants to make a meme of it.
Hell yes, you can do better.
You can do better. That relationship you're in where your needs aren't met, your boundaries aren't respected, you don't feel loved, you don't feel safe, you don't feel secure, you don't feel appreciated, you can do better. Turn around, walk out around, turn around, walk out the door.
Right, you're not welcome anymore.
You're not welcome anymore. Or you could do your hair toss, check your nails.
That's right. I don't know the rest of that. Yeah.
You could feel fine as hell. says, if he don't love you anymore. I can't sing, by the way.
Walk out the door.
You walk your fine ass out the door.
Yeah.
I can't sing for shit.
Oh.
And Tom's here and he's watching.
Celebrity.
I don't know if Tom's watching and he's saying, well, yes, I have been in a toxic relationship.
We don't know Tom's other half. We don't know anything about Tom's relationship.
We don't.
But Tom, you might be able to do better.
You might. We don't know.
Maybe your other half can do better.
We don't know.
You just don't know.
Tracy says, "Sup, Tom?" She goes to show you that we want you, that everybody here welcomes you, wants you to be one of us. We're seeing nothing so far.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing in immediate vicinity to our house. And it's too fucking hot for us to walk around this goddamn
really
neighborhood. We could have put it we could have gotten in
the hot spot.
Gotten in the hot spot, and I would be in the wagon. You could pull me around in the wagon, but
actually, what's happening now? We're hearing a lot of fireworks, so it reminds me of back in the 60s and 70s. My parents had a Sounds of Halloween record that you would put the speakers in the window, and it'd be like, oh, it was creaky ghosts and howling
sure
and
that
stuff.
Wasn't your parents having sex in the next room?
No. It was because I remember the record. It was like the Sounds of Halloween. So maybe these are just like somebody's got a record or a CD or an 8-track.
It feels like it.
And they've just been playing fireworks sounds.
But they're starting to go off.
Annoy your dog.
There's literally nothing in the sky as of yet. And it's funny because our neighbors, we know that Lenny and Jen are lighting off fireworks tonight. See, they're right on that side of the palm, but they're not really that high. I'm telling you, they're going to get better. Last year, we sat out here for 30 minutes and just laid there and watched them.
You were in the pool. I didn't get in the pool, but actually, if we were up there, we probably could see a little more. But there you go.
Oh, did they get that?
Yeah, I got a little bit of it. Just try to tip that up a little bit.
I want to talk about, there's two kinds of people in this world. Oh, yes. One of us. We accept you, one of us.
Google gobble.
You're one of us now. We'll all be friends with you. We love you. You're stuck with us. Before you know it, you're going to be living on a fucking commune with us. Trace says, I am sure that some people sound like ghosts when they have sex and talk about scary. Apparently, I sound like a gorilla.
Sometimes she makes a gorilla noise.
Can you do it?
No, I could never replicate that. But I will say this.
Wait, is it like that?
It's not. It's close to that. But I will say this: my parents are ghosts at this point, so they would be having ghost sex and making those kind of noises. So that's.
Do you think your parents would want to be with one another in the afterlife? Because your mom remarried.
Yeah, but my mom adored my dad. Like, seriously.
Look at how he says that, like serious as a heart attack.
Like, seriously.
And that's so wonderful that you had that security as a child.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm not bitter or resentful or jealous or anything like that. Just, not at all. Not all the way, even a little.
Hey, I didn't have much, but I did have that. So
I had a conversation. Oh, actually, this is on the list today. I had a conversation with my dad, God love him, where my dad came back into my life and decided that he wanted to make amends in 15 minutes or less. And he was like,
okay, go. And he's got the watch.
And Tracy says, you guys make me laugh. That's good because we usually either make you laugh, cry, or cringe. And that's what we're here for. You can always decide, am I laughing, am I crying, or am I cringing? So, this is Bush League bottle rocket shit. I'm not even going to turn the camera for that fucking nonsense.
That's like the budget set at Costco.
M80s, motherfucker.
That sounded like a mortar of some sort.
Jesus. Okay.
Anyway, so father comes back into your life.
He wants to solve all my problems, and he's calling me. He's calling me every day, and wants to tell me everything about my life and what to do with it. Oh, I see some at our neighbor's house, but it's really hard to see. So he comes back into my life, and he wants to fix everything in a minute. No. You cannot do that. And I had a point to this story. You were saying something about, so my dad, during this period of time, as if my childhood wasn't awful enough, my dad informs me, somehow my mom came up, and he said, I never loved her. It's like, okay, Dad, it's clear that you've hated each other. You guys have had restraining orders against one another since the beginning of time. You both talk shit about each other since the beginning of time. Although I have to say my dad significantly, my mom, it was like, your father, if she could blame something on him, she would. And if she could blame something on someone else, she would. My father would just be kind of matter of factly, this occurred and it was not okay. for the most part. I did not need to hear that my father did not love my mother. I knew that I was not wanted my entire childhood. Thank you. That was made profoundly clear by the regular conversations with my mother, whereas she told me as a small child that she wished she had an abortion. What an appropriate time for fireworks. But the thing that was interesting about it was that that he I like knowing, like, for Doug, is rooted in his childhood of his parents. He knew his parents loved each other. He knew his parents loved him. And I, on the other hand, again, we have such very different lives. I was unwanted. My parents did not love each other. My parents couldn't fucking stand each other. And here we are, two people together. Doug definitely gets to stay. Anne says,
I've not been eliminated.
And Tracy says, thanks, Mom. Oh, yeah. So people suck sometimes. But I will say that, both of my parents were doing their best. I forgive them for their behavior in the past. What I can't forgive them for is the things that they still actively do. And I choose to release them with love because of those things. I wish it were different, but it's not. And but it really does impact who you are. And of course, as we go into the boundaries book some more, we're going to talk about that.
It really, I don't know if these folks at home can hear it, but it sounds like somebody's making a giant thing of Jiffy Pop out here.
It's crazy, but you can't really see anything.
You can't see anything.
So I don't know.
It's not even dark yet.
We should have gone a couple blocks over. I don't know what the fuck we were supposed to do, but it's not dark yet, so I don't know why.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cloudy out, so I don't know why people
cloudy.
Like the clouds seem to be over there. I don't get it. The weather today, we talked about that it was shit everywhere, here, there, everywhere. Back in Massachusetts, here in Florida. Yesterday we were talking about chicken salad and how Doug made the most amazing chicken salad. And I wanted to mention, I forgot to mention it yesterday. My other favorite chicken salad that I love is the Boar's Head chicken salad that you can get at, like, Stop and Shop. Problem, it's loaded with sugar. That's why it's so fucking good.
Sugar tastes good.
Sugar is tasty. So Doug's chicken salad is avocado mayo from Primal Kitchen, leftover chicken, organic chicken that we cooked the night before in the air fryer, whatever.
Seasoned with Green Goddess.
Seasoned with whatever. You can have it seasoned with whatever. It's going to work.
Whatever you like, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. Which, if you watch Wim Hof, you know what we're talking about. The seasoned Primal Kitchen mayo, celery, chives, fresh chives, fresh rosemary. That's pretty much everything, right? And some seasons.
Yeah, onion salt. Onion salt is always good.
Don't forget to salt your food. Just don't use table salt. You want to use Himalayan pink salt, real Himalayan pink salt. It's hard to tell because there's a lot of, like, dyed ass pink fucking salt out there.
Dyed ass. We
are currently on Celtic salt for the most part, but we do use Himalayan salt as well. Tracy says, yep, do what's best for you. Everybody's got to do what works for them. And Tracy says, it does sound like Jiffy Pop. I got to tell you, I love me some Jiffy Pop.
Jiffy
so
Pop
bad for you. But we bought a silicone popcorn maker for $13 off of Amazon.
No oil. Oil free.
You add whatever you want to it and put it in the microwave. It doesn't have the chemicals, because if you look at microwave popcorn, it's so bad for you. Corn in general is generally GMO, very inflammatory, very unhealthy for you, because there's so much GMO corn and it blows onto other fields. So corn is a tough one. If you're gonna eat popcorn, make it yourself. Make it at home. Get that $12 silicone thing from Amazon, or you can even do it in a frying pan with a lid on it. It's so much fun.
I made some with in the frying pan the other day. It was good.
Do it in we do it. Tell them how we do it.
What, the flavor call? With the flavor call?
No, not the flavor call. When you do it with
you can probably see some of it.
Can't see it over the bushes. But that is our neighbors. We love them.
Anyway, sometimes what I'll do is take some sugar, melt it in a cast iron pan, and pour that over the popcorn.
We have too many trees. It's got to be those people over there. I don't know if they're lighting on.
I don't know.
You keep talking.
She's going for a
walk.
walk.
Talk about the sugar.
Oh, so you melt the sugar, you get it.
Shouldn't have sugar.
You get it into a. I don't know if you can see anything over there. You get it into the cast iron. You melt it up. You pour it over the popcorn. Boom. You got yourself a little caramelish corn kind of a thing.
So good.
Yeah. So
good.
It's a good thing. But Jiffy Pop, I think Jiffy Pop. I don't know if you can make a Jiffy Pop on the glass top stoves.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can. But they go on and then they shut off, so they're not like constant like a burner.
So you put it on high heat.
put it on high heat, and leave it there. Shake.
Presumably. Trace says she loves popcorn, but she doesn't eat it because it gets stuck in her teeth and makes them hurt. And you can make it on a glass cooktop.
Oh, interesting.
So, side note, Trader Joe's sells a 3-cheese powder, which is actually really good to put on your popcorn. You can put whatever you want on it, but I love the Trader Joe's seasoning section. They have all the flavors.
They have the best onion salt on the planet. It's
we just
so
bought
good.
3 containers.
We bought, and I use it all the time. And then we actually just bought another thing, which was dill pickle seasoning. I don't know what I'm going to put it on, but how can you go wrong with that? And what else do they have? That's the everything bagel seasoning is good. Which I
put everything bagel seasoning on popcorn. Yeah, I would.
No, I wouldn't. But
you put that shit on anything.
Yeah, I guess you could. But I think I use it on the on top of the calzones. I make a calzone and
I have a side note.
Side note coming.
With us doing all these podcasts from the pool,
yeah.
Don't you think it would be advantageous for you to hang the rest of the lights up?
I was actually thinking about that.
Maybe he will do that for us tomorrow. Yeah. Trey says, I'm like Paula Dean. I like my butter. I like butter too. And I don't think you should deprive yourself of butter ever. I think butter is, get organic.
Butter tastes good.
Organic grass-fed. Get yourself some nice Kirkland organic grass-fed butter. Maybe some Kerrygold. Grass-fed shit. Although, if you really want the good butter, you got to go to Bridgeton, Maine in the springtime. Go to the farmer's market on a Saturday. When the Highland cows have been eating the clover, and you're going to want to take that butter, and you're going to be like, oh.
Yeah, it's so good. So good. It's so good.
Y'all, better than sex.
Yeah, I don't
like. It's better. We sat there, 3 of us, just sat there, and it was like
a Ritz cracker just scraping it across.
If you had heard the noises coming from our cabin, you would have thought we were having some sort of creepy ass 3-way because we were like, oh yeah.
I was doing my model
so
butter.
And Jello from a bowl. Jello shots from a bowl. So yeah. Trace says butter makes it better, and I love Kerrygold. Is anything above the tree line?
Yeah, if you go over there.
Oh, look at that. You get a little fireworks, but no duck. Well, you could come over here. Okay. We did not follow up on the anaconda. The man that got eaten by an anaconda.
Yeah, we forgot to do research on that.
Well, I was asleep. What were you doing?
I was cleaning the house, and I had to fine tune my guitar a little bit today. And
well, you need to finish up that fucking record.
Well, I worked on that a little bit yesterday or last night. I think I worked on it.
He needs to finish that shit up. Because his studio monitors are coming.
Lyrics are hard.
I told them that 10-year anniversary present, we don't really have the money, but I financed them for 24 months for $20 a month. And so $20 a month here.
So basically, I finished the record and take them back.
No, the point is that if he doesn't finish his record, I'm gonna return them because he has to be like Doug will get going. He makes great progress, and then doesn't finish.
Right now, I'm writing lyrics. Lyrics are tough. Like you get the initial idea for a song, and then when you got to fill in that last verse, it's kind of
maybe you should have some marijuana. I'm suggesting that he does drugs. Perhaps you could do mushrooms.
I'm not doing any of that.
He says he's not doing any of that.
Convince me, all you people convince me to do it.
The Beatles did it.
Beatles did it, yeah. And look what happened to them. One of them got shot.
Lyrics.
Oh, they did get knighted. The remaining ones got knighted.
Okay, so there's 2 kinds of people in this world that I would like to discuss these people. Trace says, I don't believe he would have made it out alive due to the stomach acid. My forensic brains thinks it's a hoax and it was just bummed or he was just burned or something. No, he didn't have any injuries. They built a specific suit for him. So I don't know. It could, but it was on like the Today Show. This was on the Today Show. Not that the Today Show is a reliable source, but like
the Today Show hasn't been.
It wasn't like it was like something on
since
like
Matt Lauer.
I don't think anything is reputable, but like I think that like they're too busy doing deep state cover-ups to worry about like some guy in an anaconda suit. But we need to dig in more on it. I'm sorry, we're gonna have to continue that once again. Oh, I have so many things I want to talk about today. It's 9:04. See, up.
How loud.
It's getting closer.
A lot of loudness.
They're getting closer, and it's finally dark. Trace. Trace says, it's so crazy. The other thing is, so we were talking about my friend Charlie had lost his dog, and they hit the people who bought his property moved the dog. And so because Tracy has a forensics background, I sent her a message today. Doug's like, what are you doing? And I did voice to text. And I'm like, yeah, that's a lot of noise.
Sorry, I'm trying to come back.
Yeah,
I was trying to see if the people back there were.
I already went over there to tell you it doesn't look like they're doing it. That's why I got up and went over there. But when we have all the noise of the thing and the paddling, it's a lot of noise. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, so Charlie sold, he had multiple pieces of land. One of the pieces of land that he sold is where we buried the dog. The burying of the dog story is a whole thing. And I didn't want to overwhelm Charlie yesterday, and I don't think he's here, so I'm going to tell the story. And he's going to watch later, and he's going to maybe get mad at me, but he wasn't mad yesterday, so we'll see. When we dug about 5 feet in, Zach was there. And when we got that point, we were starting to have water coming up, like a lot of water. And so we had to like Charlie went in the house, and we were trying to figure out how to get it out. There was a little rigor mortis, but not a lot. And so when we put the dog in the hole, like water splashed up. And and there was maybe like this much space because the dog, we dug a hole, it's pretty deep, maybe 5 feet, but then the dog is like 2 feet thick, and then it's in this water, so it's like soup, and we covered it up. We did put lime on her. We put a sheet and we put lime. And so I reached out to Tracy and I said, hey, Trace, what do you think? And she seemed to think that she would be dissipated. And I thought it was really beautiful that his dog would now, because she would probably be all decomposed by now because it was at the very beginning of COVID and we put lime on her, that she's probably decomposed and became part of the soil, and she's forever part of the land that his family owned for generations, which I think is actually really beautiful. So thank you, Tracy, for clearing that up for me. If y'all want to know how to hide a dead body, Tracy's your girl. And so, Trace, I would like for you to come on the podcast in the near future and teach me all of the ways that I could dispose of Doug's body so no one would ever find it. That would be great. Thank you.
Not nice.
Trace says, always. No, seriously, let's set that shit up. Perhaps sometime where we don't have so much background noise. I'm down with background noise. What I would like is background noise with fancy fireworks that we can see our hedges not tall enough.
There was quite the show over there.
Protect the neighborhood from my titties, but
the neighborhood.
They're not, but they're too big that we can see the fireworks that are a little low this year. Last year, they were all lighting them off back there. They were huge. I don't know if they're home this year. I want to talk about blinds. Do you guys have blinds in your house or drapes? Are you a person who's constantly got the blinds pulled, constantly got the drapes pulled? Are you that person? Or are you the person that's like, let's let the sunshine in. Let's enjoy nature. I am a blinds open person. No blinds. I feel dark and depressed and miserable with no vitamin D with the blinds closed. I don't get to see nature. I don't get to see lizards. I don't get to see the beautiful palm trees. I don't get to see the beautiful sunshine. And Doug will sit in his office and work in the dark like a depressed programmer.
I would like to say that I am blind appropriate, where I would have the blinds open on the appropriate time.
That's not true. You leave them closed for weeks at a time. The only time the blinds get open in our house is when I say, can you open the blinds? Or when I say, why did you close the blinds? Why are you always closing the blinds? I like to look out this window. I'm going to get like a gun. Like a what are those rubber band guns or like a pellet gun?
How come what you want is always right? That's what I want to know.
It's not what I want that is always right, but I spend all of my time in the living room. I'm sick. It's hard for me to get up, and it's the window closest to where I sit. Why the fuck would you close those blinds?
So I don't know why I close those blinds, but I will say this: the ones in my office should be at my discretion. Sometimes I like the sun coming in.
But you sitting in that dark room working for hours without getting any sunlight exposure and not taking any breaks is not healthy for you. And that blue screen light is really bad for you.
I would say this, that sometimes I keep the blinds on that side of the house closed so that room doesn't.
Okay, that's fine. But you're working in the dark, having only blue light. Oh, look at that! Thank you, neighbors.
We got one set of neighbors.
Well, I turned it to the right.
They only did one, so they can still see it.
Okay.
Anyway,
I would like to know what you guys think about blinds. Tracy says, "Fuck the outside." If I would have dark, I would choose. I have them, but I really don't use them. Fuck the outside world. Okay, I'm confusing Tracy. Are you a blind girl or not a blind girl? Because it doesn't sound like she said both there.
It sounds like she likes the dark if she had to choose.
Okay, but I'm saying that most of us are vitamin D deficient. We need sunshine. Go. Huberman talks about the need to go outside the first 10 minutes of being awake. See it. Look.
Oh, look at that. It's like dueling banjos over there. Look at that.
I'm like Kilroy.
You are Kilroy. What is it, like July 4th or something?
Yeah. It's a little fireworks for everybody. See, there's like a seat here.
Oh, you sit on the seat. I'll sit over here.
The problem is you haven't been. Oh, I can do it on here.
It's not bad.
What am I pulling up?
I don't know what you're pulling up.
Well, because I can bring the comments on screen from here because I've been kind of left on that one alone as of recent.
Tracy had 2 comments on the bottom about her wife prefers the light, so I have them, and I prefer the dark.
So you got to find that nice balance. Oh, here's Charlie. Open the windows, let the light inside. I need to be
strutting around with all my nakedness. Take a photo. It lasts longer for you to enjoy.
Charlie, if you could send me that photo, I would appreciate it. And everyone, if you would like to see a photograph of Charlie naked, I will sell it to you for $19.95.
Still no takers on that picture of you.
Or you.
Nobody wants to see me naked. There's good naked and bad naked. Nobody wants to see Mr. Peanut naked.
That's bullshit. Trace says pretty. Thank you. I am pretty. You are pretty too. But
I think she means the fireworks. That's pretty.
Why can't you just let me have that?
I hate to burst
Why
your
can't you
bubble.
let me just have that one compliment from my friend?
Okay.
You could have been like, yes, you are pretty, and try to redeem yourself for earlier.
How many times tonight I've said that you were very pretty? You're like, oh, I'm stroke face. I'm like, no, you're very pretty.
I am very pretty, but I have a stroke face. I have one side is pretty, and the other side is pretty. But if you put them together, stroke face. Stroke face. Woo! Anne says, woohoo, Charlie, I love it. Charlie, there's so many episodes I want to have you on with, but I want to talk about one episode with Charlie about the perils of having a monster dong. That's gotta be hard. Well, you think that the grass is always greener. If you have like an average sized dick and you think, oh, I would love to have a monster dong. But then you think, oh, like you have a monster dong. Some people aren't going to be down with your monster dong. Not everybody wants to be skewered. And so maybe they're jealous of you. And you know what? The guys with the micro penises, they get to put it in the pooper a lot more than you do. Think about that. So if you have an average size dick, sometimes maybe you're jealous of the little dick guys. Think about that. Todd says, I always work in the dark, but I would much rather have blinds open. So he is blinds open guy, I guess.
Although if I'm on a Zoom call or a Teams call with the blinds open, I look like Edgar Winter or something. It's just so bright. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on. So, yes.
Charlie, is Charlie a tripod? Yes, Charlie is a tripod. His dick is the size of, I'm not kidding you. Take a wiffle ball bat, cut it in half, go with the thick side. That is Charlie's dick. It's terrifying. The poor man. And he's like, you know how like me, I'm all tits and hair, maybe some ass. Okay. And I got a belly. I'm like a lot. Ass, I have a lot. Charlie is like tall and dick. That's what he's got going. Tall and dick. He's like a stick figure tripod. That's what he looks like. And he's an amazing person. So, we'll give it to him. And Charlie says, wait a minute. Are you trying to exploit my naked strutting for you for your own financial gains? Hell yeah, motherfucker. But also for the commune, it's for the children in this part. It's for the haters. We needed our little hippie commune. And unless you're, ponying up for the land and the many, many, I don't think a biodome is the way to go in Florida, but the many, many structures, we're going to have to make money somehow, Charlie. Shake your money maker. Make a helicopter with it. Whatever it takes. Fully in. Oh, not me, though. That's too big. Also, I'm married, but Charlie says, Tracy says she loves my descriptions. That's because I'm a crazy person. Don't encourage me. Is that in? Oh, see,
there's some through the thing. Every once in a while, we get a good one.
Ann says, my blinds are open all the time. I don't even close them at night. Ann, let's be golden girls together. Fuck this idiot.
Ann is an exhibitionist.
Maybe she is. What's wrong with that?
More power to her.
She's hot as shit.
More power to her and Charlie.
She is hot as shit. I don't know when Ann's birthday is, and I need to remember it because I want to do something really nice for her.
I think you just did.
Tell her that she's hot as shit?
Yeah.
Oh, I will give you everyone an ego boost for your birthday. I'll do that. And it's not, I don't say things just to say them. Like I say things I really mean. Anna's fucking hot. Like I would do a little bit of that.
Wow.
But we're like sisterly.
Yes, you are.
So that would be weird. So what I need is like, I don't know. But I'm gonna be in the market for a wife one day. This fireworks is crazy. Okay. Okay, you're gonna have to talk about something.
I know I don't know if Todd is back yet, but he was the one that brought up bean sex.
Oh, bean sex.
Yeah.
Todd
Todd
is back because he talked about he always works in the dark.
Oh,
So,
right.
This afternoon, Doug made one of his family favorites.
It's not a family favorite. It's something I invented myself.
Oh, I thought your mom invented it.
No, I invented this.
Oh, that's why mine is so much better. Mine is a recipe that I got from Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey, your man, Steve Harvey.
My man, Steve Harvey. I love him.
All right.
I don't think he likes white people, but I love him.
Today's I created beanie weenie, which is bean and baked beans. Normally I put barbecue sauce, cut up an onion, throw it in there, and some cayenne pepper. It's unfreaking believable. And cut up hot dogs, of course. Weenie, hence the weenie. But today I didn't want to go with the barbecue sauce because it's like pure sugar. So I just tried to wing it, and we put some hot sauce in there. She put sour cream on.
Well, because we put hot sauce today, so I put sour cream on top. But it's beans and hot dogs, and you do yours with beans and hot dogs and barbecue.
Yes, beans, hot dogs, barbecue, onion, and cayenne is the way I do it.
Okay, I do mine with maybe cayenne is what we needed. I do mine with ketchup and mustard and brown sugar and hot dogs, and it's so good. But again, sugar not so much. Oh snap! Thank you to the neighbors directly.
Those people, they only bought like 6
but
in
they're
that
doing
driveway.
a great job.
Yeah, they're doing all right.
I don't even know if you guys can hear us. So I do want to get on to Charlie's comment that says, having a larger member, it's not as great as you might think. My biggest complaint is that when a girl is screaming, too deep, too deep. First few times I heard it was a serious ego boost. And after that, he thought to himself, wow, it would really be nice to have my balls bang up against something, but we're in a different room and we can't do that anymore. So yeah, it's not, not everything is all it's cracked up to be. Dude, there's fireworks.
It's gunfire.
Yeah, we just can't really see them because of our
Yeah,
trees.
we wouldn't know the difference tonight.
I do want to talk about something that's kind of a problem in our marriage.
Oh, so wait, bean sex. We didn't talk about
bean sex. So we're having the beans for lunch. Donna's here. She says happy 4th. Happy 4th, Donna. We were just about to talk about, we were just talking about Charlie's dick. Now we're talking about bean sex.
Bean sex.
So we're having beans, and I hoped to have like the sex today because I had already thanked the universe for the deep dicking I was going to get last night. Not that deep. Not that Charlie deep. No,
deep enough.
The proper amount.
As far as
of
I'm
deep
concerned,
dicking.
deep enough.
The proper amount of deep dicking, not like rip your innards out deep dicking. But that did not happen. And so today I took my cannabis.
I'm like,
and I
okay,
thought,
I owe you.
At least I'm in pain and I've taken the drugs and I'm in pain and I've taken the drugs and we can do the sexing. But then we ate beans and he's like, do you want to have bean sex? And I'm like, no, I don't want to have bean sex. Can you imagine?
Bean sex.
Oh, why don't we just have a bean 69? We can just be like, is that a thing? That's on Urban Dictionary, is it? A bean 69? It's called a beanie weenie. Like, what is that?
I will say this, that 1 year they were trying to generate corporate culture at our last company, and they ended up. I suggested have a chili cook-off, and then like, oh, let's do something for Valentine's Day. They scheduled the chili cook-off on Valentine's Day.
Everyone had bean sex.
Yeah, so everybody probably had bean
Tracy,
sex.
did you have bean sex?
Oh yeah, let's find out if
Tracy, did you have bean sex?
OG.
I can't. I just don't understand the need for bean sex. I was hopeful that the beans might make me poop. Oh. I have not. I had a little poop this morning, but not much. I was going to do a coffee enema today, but I was in too much pain. I'm trying my best. Pray for me, please. Please. Pray the Lord come and save me from my potty mouth.
Shall you see?
And my love of the cock. On an entirely different note, Anne says, I had Bell's palsy. I had half the Farrell's face. It looks like I'm lucky my face went back to normal. So it's really common for people with Lyme to have Bell's palsy. If you look at my photos, you'll notice that I'm droopy on one side in all of them. I never had a Bell's palsy diagnosis, but I am a little strokey sometimes.
Well, yeah.
And it's that's something that would really bother me, because one of the things, like with me getting sick and gaining so much weight, which, by the way, like, it's not like if you knew what I ate, you'd be like, why are you not skinny? Dude, that's Lyme. You either gain weight or you lose weight. Unfortunately, I have been in the former category, and I did not appreciate that. Charlie says, but when you hear that every time I fuck a girl, it gets annoying. Yes, he does not like that girls are annoyed, but there's a lot of size queens out there. Like, Charlie, I want to tell everybody, like everyone I meet, like, hey, listen, if you're into big dicks, my friend Charlie's got a gigantic one. He can fuck you from 3 rooms away. Like I said, be my uncle. I'm just trying to get anybody to be my uncle is really what it comes down to.
Why do you need an uncle?
Because I may have people in my life who I think that can do better than their current relationships, and I want them to be with one of my friends, because I have, I would like to have a nice family. Tracy says it's been
it's bean sex like American Pie sex. No, it's not.
Beans. No. This is like you ate beans and now you're gonna fuck. If you want that's creepy. If you want to fuck a pie, I'm down with that. But bean sex? What are you, German? Shit on each other's chest. We were just watching Californication, and the guys were shy. He was like Scheiser, and like some guy wanted to take a dump on the girl, and like Cleveland. Somebody's gonna clean up the Cleveland Steven there. I will never understand poop play. I'm not eating beans and having sex with you. Probably won't even have sex for the rest of the week. I'm gonna have to do it by myself. That'd be sad. Charlie, I'm very sorry for your struggles. We'll find you a nice girl. Ian says, I am an exhibitionist. Is that why she invited herself to Charlie's house?
Maybe that's why she had to leave our house so quickly, because she had to get all naked.
Charlie and Ann be an exhibitionist in the woods together. I can see that, but I'm telling you, you guys really should hang out, because you're both awesome people. Charlie says, last girl I was with would complain that her stomach always hurts after having sex because I would always want to go deep. Of course you want to go deep. It's your nature. I'm sorry that her stomach hurt, though. And if she sets a boundary with you,
right?
She sets a boundary.
Ooh, that was loud.
Maybe you could put something like a like
a
well,
ring.
They sell extenders for penises. Maybe you could get like a
limiter,
like a vagina extender.
That's right over our head.
You could get like a vagina. Oh, see, maybe we should turn.
Let's see. I don't know if you can see this.
No, well.
Yeah, that's right over the head.
Okay, I'm gonna come over here and see. That's our neighbors. That we love. We were supposed to be there.
You know what we should do is put this on the other side of the pool. They're gonna be blowing it off. Although we ran out. This one over here is going good now. All right, let's go back here.
Jesus Christ!
They're doing the big finale. Here, come on over. We can smell it now. Smell it.
That house is lighting off too.
Oh my God.
There they go again. Anne says, not purposely. I have no problems walking around naked. Someone looking may have a problem. LOL. Dude, me too. Me, you, and Charlie, we're all naked. The neighbors are letting them off again. Hang on, this should be on the blanket. Can you see it? God damn it!
Every time they stop.
Y'all. I should text them and be like, Lenny, can you let me know when you're gonna light off the firework? I know we couldn't make it over there, but we were there in spirit. I should message them and let them know. Oh, actually, you could message on my phone. Trace says, nope, not a fan of bean sex or poop sex. Amen, sister. Charlie says, good for you, Ann. They're everywhere. They're like, yeah. I think when the human body is beautiful, of course, when it comes to me, I'm not liking it. I think your body is beautiful, Ann. Not like, oh, there's one. Oh. Yay, they're getting a little bit better. So come here for the fireworks. If you don't want to leave the house, you want to avoid the crowds, you can listen to a lot of fireworks and see a few obstructed view. It's like you're at Fenway. What are you doing?
I don't know. Get up.
All right, so I have been playing Matchmaker. I did mention that. I have been having encounters with many bugs tonight.
Yes.
Crawling on me, crawling on the journal, crawling on the screen. Welcome to Florida.
My legs have been super itchy.
I have a pet peeve.
Oh, please.
Something we've discussed.
Pet peeve alert.
Part of my marital hate.
Marital hate alert.
Watching television with Doug is a fucking nightmare.
Why don't you explain yourself?
No, why didn't you explain yourself?
Well, a lot of times what I'll do is I will try and figure out like if it's appropriate. Like did they have Doritos of that flavor?
Appropriate.
Did they have the Cool Ranch Doritos in 1984?
So I'm sitting there
they
trying to enjoy my moment of completely mindless entertainment of watching 90210 or whatever stupid fucking show I'm watching.
Yes.
And he's like, well, that's not realistic because that flavor of Doritos wasn't invented for 2 more years.
It's a 66 Mustang, not a 64 Mustang. Stuff like that. And I apparently I ruin it for her, and I apologize.
Dude, do you see that spider right there?
Yes, I do. It's crawling around.
It's literally making a web between our 2 computers.
Yeah.
Could you maybe send it somewhere?
Well, now it's on your screen. It's coming over here.
It's making a web between our laptops. Well, don't kill him. Why did you kill him?
Because I didn't know what else to do with him.
Take him for a walk?
He could have been deadly. It is Florida.
I would have kept him. He was a cute little spider.
Well,
You're supposed to be nice to spiders. One of my favorite children's books.
I normally am.
Not as good as We Were Tired of Living in a House, but Be Nice to Spiders is another good one. Highly recommend Be Nice to Spiders. It's actually kind of the story of my life. Have you ever read Be Nice to Spiders?
Sounds familiar. Probably.
It's about this spider, and he lives in a zoo, and he goes in all the
different
cages and lights webs, and they're like, oh, look at all these ugly spider webs. We're gonna clean that down, and they clean all the spider webs down, and then all the animals are bothered by all the bugs. And then they are like, oh yeah, we need this one little thing, and then the spider has babies at the end, and they keep the zoo nice for all the animals. I don't really remember Charlotte's Web, but sure.
Spoiler alert. She did.
I think your body is beautiful. And Trace says, I'm not a fan of all my surgical scars, but I don't care about my flubber. Girl, tattoo that shit. If it makes you feel better, tattoo that shit. Although tattoo scars can be difficult and they do fade over time. My scars have all faded. Be nice to spiders is another pet peeve. I know, I'm a little upset. Somebody call PETA. Him and the fucking anaconda guy. Yay, nice fireworks.
I apologize to the spider.
You should.
But he was like minuscule, like tiny.
So yes, watching television with Doug sucks. And now he's got me doing it, and I hate it. I don't want to be that person. I want to enjoy it. Trace says she's working on tattoos all over. I would recommend my favorite tattoo artist is actually DJ Price, and he's up in Bangor, Maine, and he's very reasonable. I highly recommend him. He's at Blind Faith Tattoo. Tell him I sent you. That's the tattoo shop I was at when I peed myself. Like a lot in a felon's Jeep. That's the story. If you missed it, you got to watch that old episode.
Yeah. We have to figure out we have to go through and find out what episode number it is. So we'll say, hey, go hear the story.
Well, or sometimes maybe we repeat a story, or sometimes people find it. I don't know.
Anyways, it's always great.
DJ Price at Blind Faith in Bangor, Maine, and he's a sweetheart.
Banger. So I will say this: it's always fun to have your wife call you laughing. Oh, I got a tattoo. And where'd you get the tattoo? Oh, I got a place in Bangor. I peed in a felon's Jeep. A felon's Jeep. Yeah, he did all kinds of time and blah 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 blah.
And he told me that he fucked like a 23-year-old because he was hitting on me.
Yes, he fucks like he didn't fuck a 23-year-old.
He fucks like a 23-year-old.
So what age do you pick for optimal male sexual prowess?
57.
How you doing? Oh, now.
Except last night.
Last night. It was not happening.
Disappointing. So we didn't win the Powerball, but we're going to win tomorrow. It's coming up. We're not going to have bean brulee. Can I have my phone? I did want to. This is my phone. Yes, I did want to share with the public.
Taking pictures of Charlie.
Well, for 1995, I will. I just want to tell the neighbors that we like their fireworks. Hang on. We love your fireworks.
I think they're done.
Thank you.
Those were big. Those were big ones. Those were like Esplanade situation.
Hang on a second.
Today, for the fourth.
Please thank Lenny for me. I'm mid podcast, so I really can't talk. Bye. Okay, sorry.
So all day I was singing that 1812 overture in my head. You know, I was like cleaning up and stuff.
Oh wait, singing it like dun 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 dun.
Kaboom.
Well, why are you playing it right now?
I don't have a sousaphone.
You have a lot of instruments in there.
Yeah, I don't
you have a
think
computer.
Yeah.
You could make it.
suppose I could.
You could have just played it with the Google thing.
If little known fact about the 1812 overture, if you scored a 300 in Intellivision bowling back in the 80s,
they played it.
Yeah, they would play that as a reward.
I wish we could get. This is my fantasy for next year's podcast. I know it's a little lofty of a goal. My goal for this year was to get an RV company to sponsor us.
Yes,
which is not going very well because we haven't really.
We don't have any RV content.
Well, we wouldn't have RV content until we had an RV. We just fantasize about an RV.
Catch-22.
And I did want to talk about our RV fantasy, but I think that's like a whole episode because it's already 9:30. We're going to have to push. Yeah. That's another item we're going to have to push on till tomorrow. But I will tell you.
It is a work night for most people.
We designed our own, well, but we always do it on work nights.
Oh, I know.
So we designed an RV. Doug did a rendering. We went through it today and we made sure everything had multiple purposes. There's things in that motherfucker that have 4 or 5 purposes.
She's like looking for purposes. All right, so we did invent the product.
We invented more than one product.
We did, and we could,
we're going to make money.
Yeah, we can't discuss some of the products that we developed today, but our would we call it a van or is it a C? It's C plus.
It's a van. It's a van.
It's a van. But we're extending some stuff. We have some unbelievable ideas for this thing, and nobody else is doing it. So, we think it could be good. But then
let me just tell you some highlights of this van. We're going to go through it another day. Sleep 6, full bathroom, refrigerator, full kitchen, indoor and out, indoor television, outdoor television, U-shaped banquette, U-shaped sofa, or twin beds, or you could really
pull down bunk.
Well, we already talked about that.
Sleep 6. We didn't talk about the
pull down
bunk.
We we're going to get into the whole details, but it's Sleep 6.
Yeah. Innovative design.
It's
innovative kitchen forward design.
All major systems have 2 backups,
and everything has at least dual purposes.
No,
sometimes
there's not a single thing that doesn't have 3 purposes. We made sure everything had 3 purposes,
and even sometimes the last third purpose, it's like some made up thing.
Well, I think that using your mattress as a tube to go tubing is a good idea. And also you can use it as a water bladder to hold water.
Water bladder.
See? Mattress, inner tube, water bladder. 3 purposes, motherfucker.
Sex swing for the bedroom in the RV?
Sex swing for the bedroom in the RV bedroom. Well,
not really.
You could, if you wanted to, have a sex swing when the bed is televated. But I don't want to have a sex swing when I have 6 people over. Like, this is not the Crisco disco.
Yeah, it's not the 70s.
This is not the Crisco disco.
Yeah, it's not.
And I got to tell you something, like, I don't need a sex swing. I'm good. We like people want to do all kinds of freaky shit. Like
I would not like a sex. Like I would not use it if I had it.
Maybe, but we had a sex swing and we didn't use it. It was one of those door mounted.
Oh, that door mounted. No good. Somebody gave it to us as a wedding present.
Then we gave it to Zach. So that, hear me out. We gave it to our friend Zach because he works in a van and sometimes he has to poop. So what we told him to do was to mount it on the side of the van and sit in it over a bucket so he could poop comfortably, because sitting on a bucket is not comfortable. So that's what you do. You sit in a sex swing, an over door. What you do is, if you work in the trades, you find friends who got an over the door sex swing as a wedding gift, and you get them to give it to you, and you mount it in the back of your van. So when you want to take a shit, you can levitate above the bucket in comfort and be in the proper pooping position, prime pooping position, as Matt from Matt's RV says. So I think it's a really good idea. So we like to have the sex. Stacy, isn't the dye and tattoos bad for you? Depending on the dye, but I specifically had the organic dye. And yes, it is a lot for your liver to process. So I have only had tattoos when I've been feeling much, much better, and I have actually been fine. However, I haven't had a tattoo in a long time, both because I have MRSA and I don't have any money. And yeah. Tracy says Crisco disco. She's laughing her ass off. It's a real thing. Look it up. Donna told us about it. She was
must have missed it. Yeah, must have missed her.
Donna probably left, but there's the Crisco disco episode. Donna went to a club called the Crisco Disco, a gay bar. She was 17 years old in New York City, and they literally, I don't know if anybody can see this. How cute is that with this little hat? And this one's like falling off.
Yeah, fix that one. Oh, we have mortar shells.
Donna goes into the Crisco disco, and there's, the gays everywhere, fucking everywhere or whatever. And she's 17, and there's a guy in like a basket, which is similar to a sex swing, but it has a hole in the bottom. And there was a thing of Crisco, and there were people fisting his ass. if anybody has any experience with fisting, I would like to have you on the show to interview you.
Or you can come on anonymously if you want, but we
What do you
tend
like?
to
We do voice changing and have them wear like a.
We tend to let the free flag.
Hang on a
fly
second.
In our
if there's
podcast.
someone out there that would like to be on the podcast that knows about fisting, you can come on anonymously in the sense that you could wear like a Groucho Marx
we'll,
type wig.
Yeah. We won't tell anybody.
And we won't tell anybody your name. We'll know, but nobody else will know.
And we're not going to laugh at you.
As a matter of fact, I got a really interesting, juicy tidbit of a church drama today that I'm not allowed to talk about yet. But as soon as I can, y'all go and hear it. And then which led to a conversation about sperm and its survival rate in fresh air.
Well, I was
could someone take your jerk sock if you had a jerk sock? Assuming you have a jerk sock, could someone take your jerk sock and shove it up them like a tampon and get themselves knocked up? Can you because I don't
think you can rehydrate.
When they make like the sperm popsicles, they put those in liquid nitrogen.
Right.
So why can't they rehydrate it?
Because once it's dehydrated, it's dehydrated.
Frozen
is much different than dehydrated.
I don't know. Jamie Oliver talks about rehydrating dried out things all the time. I'm just saying. Raise hell and praise Dale. Sorry, I have Tourette's.
What if that guy's name is actually Dale?
That would be funny. I've been using tattoos as a pain reversion therapy lately. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know what the word reversion means.
She's basically using it as like the opposite of pain. So what happens
add
is
the pain to the pain.
Here's the thing. What happens when you get a tattoo, you get this adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
And your liver has to process this foreign substance. So it may be like a short-term gain and a long-term pain. Like I really feel like.
If your adrenals can kind of kick back and kind of replenish.
Well, that's kind of the problem, though, is that most people who live in chronic pain also have adrenal fatigue. And so it's a lot for your adrenals. So, Tracy,
you know what?
I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm saying maybe think a little on it.
You might want to consult your local physician.
You may be creating a cycle in terms of inflammation and pain in your body by doing that. It may temporarily make you feel better, but worse in the long run. Kind of like working in the dark, girl. So I don't know. I'm not here to judge you. You got to do you.
It's a short-term gain.
Yeah, it's a different type of pain. It's a short-term gain, but it may cause you long-term pain in the sense that it's creating inflammation in your body. So you do you, but we do genuinely care about you. And so I would caution you to look into it a little bit. And actually, I would love for you to tell us. And if you were like, hey, girl, I looked it up and I still fucking want to do it, then that's your right. We're not here to judge you. You can make your own choices. You're a grown-up. You set your boundaries. And we want to hear about everything everybody's doing. If you have something to share with us,
we want to hear about swinging.
If you have an idea for a topic you want to talk about on the podcast and you'd like to be the guest, we'll pull you on for a segment. We might even pull you on for a whole episode. You just let us know. I have something else to say. I fucking hate pleated pants. We've been watching 90210. We've been watching 90210, and those motherfuckers all have pleated pants on.
They did. They had pleated pants, those silky shirts that sort of hung on you.
It makes like a bulge. Can I just use you as a model?
Sure.
Can you stand on the stool for the step?
No.
I need you to stand on the step for a minute. Just stand on the step.
I don't want people seeing my wet ball sack.
I'm not going to take your pants off and make it happen.
All right.
Okay, so here's Doug. So with pleated pants, it adds bulk here.
Here. Like a fluffiness.
And it looks like something's wrong with you. And it's like a fupa. And if you have nice flat front pants, I can see something sticking out. And I like that.
Excuse me.
What?
Yeah, that was.
Am I not allowed to touch your wiener?
No, you are. You are. And it was enjoyable.
Thank you.
It was very enjoyable. You want to stop the podcast and go in the
have
swing?
Some bean sex? We don't have a swing.
Hey.
We could do it in the banana hammocks. Who knows?
It is July 4th.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
See, that's something I said in front of the kids that I'm not supposed to say. I call them the banana hammocks. And she's like, why are you calling them? You can't say banana hammocks. I'm like, well, that's what they are. They're like bananas in their hammocks. It's not like a sex toy swing. What are you doing?
I'm going over here because the neighbors are putting up some big ones. Anyway.
Can we tilt it down a little bit?
They'll probably stop now.
A little bit more. A little bit more now. A little bit more. You can come over on the screen. Okay. See, they're over there now.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
I don't know.
So bean sex is
not happening.
It should not be a thing.
I don't think we're gonna have sex tonight either. But what I did want to share with the class was our sex playlist and the story about what happens with our sex playlist. Remember we were in the Jeep the other day?
Oh yeah, the Jeep was on.
Tell them what happens.
That sometimes we're driving around, sometimes with the kids, sometimes with other people, and the sex playlist comes on, and it's not so. It leads to a very interesting.
Well, we were in the car yesterday, and the sex song came on, and you were.
Oh
like,
yeah, we were in traffic.
Or Sunday, and you're like, hey.
We're like, are we going home right now?
So here is the sex music list. I Feel Like I'm Drowning by 2 Feet.
I don't know what that song is.
I feel like I'm drowning. Ooh.
I don't think I know that one. Maybe I'm busy doing other things. Oh, okay, yeah. That's from some show.
You keep dreaming and I'm scheming. Yeah, you do.
Does that make you want to fuck?
You're a poison and
Like
I know
beans.
that.
That was a big one. We're in a place for that one.
Okay, so I like that song. Closer by 9 Inch Nails, which you
That's a
guys are all
given.
aware
That's a
of.
given.
Todd references it on like a daily basis. The Chain by Carola Dest, which is a cover.
Yeah, you might not
It's
be
a
able to
cover.
play these because of copyright issues. They might blur them out.
I don't know. The Chain by Carola Dest is
It's a cover of Fleetwood Mac.
Cover of Fleetwood
You
Mac.
never break
Slow
the
Hands
chain.
by Neil Horan, which I thought was Sam, whatever his name is, but Slow
No,
Hands.
no, it's
Can you sing that?
Slow hand, your sex dripping down my dirty laundry. I know those aren't the words. But
And White Men in Black Suits by Everclear, but
Yeah.
that's not always enough songs. Sometimes we have to loop through twice.
but sometimes
Depends on the foreplay.
there needs to be a
Mama
little bit more
Depends on how much
filthy
foreplay Mama
funk
needs.
in there. Those
Todd-
are just ones we.
Todd says that he is jealous. Todd, I'm just telling you, anything with a flange, you're good to go.
Right.
Get yourself something. Get yourself a jerk
Yourself a
sock, something with a
flange.
flange.
All right. So anyways,
Maybe
so
go to
we were
the
talking
Pisco.
about the sperm in the jerk sock and all this stuff and getting
Yeah.
yourself pregnant. Now I had seen somewhere that sperm will die when it hits the air.
I literally had to tell my friend to hide his jerk sock. Because
You never know.
we're worried some girl's
know.
going to try to use it and get herself a baby daddy.
It's not.
It's
I don't think that's going to work.
Where there's a will, there's a way. If you look at some of the crazy things that this girl is doing,
Well, yeah, that's
we'll talk
very
about
true.
it.
Yeah. I would
when
hide
we
mine
can talk
if
about
I had
it.
one.
But I told him to hide his jerk sock, and that brought us into this conversation of
So yeah.
what ways could someone use to get pregnant? Could they take a fresh condom out of the trash,
Yes,
as we
I
have
believe
seen
they
on
could.
many? So how does it work with jerk sock? Not
Well, a jerk sock, you're not going to get like it's going to be absorbed into the sock. Yes, no.
yeah, but if you put the sock in your cooch,
If the sock was soaking wet, whatever. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it's not the right environment. It's got to be a perfect
Trace-
petri dish environment.
Trace, as the forensics expert of the group, we need you to tell us all the things that you can do with your sperm to keep it going.
Yes. Let's ask the lesbian about sperm issues.
Hang on a second. It's not like she's like, oh, I'm a lesbian. I can't learn about
I'm
sperm.
kidding. No, I know she's very knowledgeable about all things,
including sperm. I just farted
Oh, in the pool.
in the pool.
Oh.
Bubbles came up the back of my dress. It was a little. It was
It's
like
from those
a
beans.
It was a little bit like being in a jacuzzi. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's
We
delightful.
keep moving to catch the fireworks, and we're
Yeah,
catching
we're
less
just
and less
not catching.
fireworks by doing it, and then you're less and less comfortable. So I think we should turn back that way.
We should.
But what do I
we
know?
should turn back time. Boo-doo, boo-doo.
So I fucking hate pleated pants. We covered that. It is 9:43. So
So we're
despite the
well
fact,
over our 1 hour podcast time.
So we're gonna have to talk about 90210, Young MC, our RV fantasy. We talked about our sex playlist.
Young MC no longer young anymore. He's-
Had a nice chat with a girl who had a crush on my husband years ago, and I want to talk about that because she was delightful, but not today. We don't have time. The frequency of fabrics. We'll talk about that
Of what?
another day.
Of what?
Fabrics. Apparently, all fabrics have a frequency.
Oh, everything
And
has
in
a frequency.
Leviticus, in the
Oh.
Bible, they talk about wearing only cotton, linen,
Oh,
and wool
right.
or
Yes,
something.
indeed. Yeah.
And so different fabrics have different frequencies, and you shall not mix them. The highest frequency,
A mixed fabric.
thou shalt mix the fabrics. It says it in Leviticus in the Bible. I'm just kidding. I make Bible shit up all the time. I say things are in Ecclesiastes. Everything's in Ecclesiastes. Like fisting stuff is in Ecclesiastes. I am, quite frankly, a horrible, horrible person. But that's the thing about this podcast is You get to be a part of the fucking problem. You're here. You're one of the haters. You're one of us. We accept you, one of us, and everybody here wants to be your friend and support you. And they expect you to say fucked up shit and do fucked up shit. And they expect you to not always agree with them, and for you to have a different opinion, you to have your own voice, and they still love you. So join us. Tell your friends. Be part of the community. And if you are watching this later, don't forget to comment, because we'll engage with you afterwards. Trust me when I tell you.
I was their finale.
Was it?
Yeah.
Tilt it up.
It's 3.
I don't know.
If I hear them shoot up in the
but what does this comment says?
Hate to tell you, but pleated pants are making a comeback for women.
Fuck that.
She don't wear pants.
Pleated pants with women. It's gonna make your fupa look extra foopy.
Unless you tuck
Not
it
a
in.
good look.
Yeah,
No.
I don't know. Yeah, it's not a good look. Mom jeans were not a good look.
Do you remember harem pants?
I like the
harem pants were a good look because they were like, they would flatten your fupa and they would have the pleats underneath it.
Yes.
That might be good for me, but I would need a lot
for
of
Barbara
pleats.
Eden.
I don't know who Barbara Eden is.
She was
Jeannie.
Jeannie on the Jeannie show.
Oh, she had such a tiny little waist. I used to have a tiny little waist. And a round thing in your face, and you got sprung.
That's another Anaconda reference tonight.
I don't know, because Sir Mix-a-Lot in the remix
and he talks about his anaconda don't
want none unless you got bones.
Tracy had commented about the anaconda, and that might have been last night. I don't know.
We talked about the anaconda last night and tonight. Ann says,
enjoy being naked. I'm checking out tonight. Good night to all.
Okay, what did Charlie say?
Charlie said, and we talk about strutting around in the woods.
Naked in the woods. And yeah, we talk about all of the stuff. We did talk about blinds open and closed.
We've got a sperm report. Sperm report. Sperm will die. Oh God.
God, you do it.
Yeah, you like to talk about sperm.
I love to talk about
sperm will die within a few minutes of ejaculation outside the body. When a donor ejaculates first, the donation of sperm, it is quickly frozen and suspended in time due to lots of science to figure it out. So ideally, if someone did shove a sock up their gooch
I like that.
quickly,
I like her explanation. Due to lots of science.
Due to lots of science. I'm gonna use that from now on.
Lots of science.
How'd you figure that out? Lots of science. Because as you know, I'm a man of science. As you know. So if it was ejaculated on the sock and it's shoved up pretty quickly, it is possible, but that doesn't account for if sperm dies when it hits the air.
I am just saying that this crazy bitch is going to find some of his sperm and knock herself up if she can.
It's not good. These crazy people are just crazy, and you got to watch out there, fellas.
I don't know if I like the marital hate logo in the corner that way.
It's taken up a little bit too much. We could probably go to. Just
take it off.
All right, wait.
People know the name of the goddamn podcast. They're on the marital hate.
I do like this one.
That's good.
I like that.
That's why is that not the one we have there? Yeah. So although I would like to have a transparent one with the flamingo as well. So if you could have
good
like
point.
The flamingo and that, and I want that for our stickers and our business cards. And 2 days ago I was like, let's never do the podcast again. Now I'm like, so I would really like a very large decal for the Jeep. I would like a t-shirt. I would like a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about right there. Giant ones.
Okay.
Giant
ones. It is 9:47. We have given you
we're done. We've given you a lot of entertainment.
A little bit of Olympic fireworks show because of our bushes, but I'm telling you, the bushes, they're not high enough to keep the neighborhood from seeing me naked and too high for us to see fireworks. I'm going to say that some of our neighbors need to put their fireworks further up. Our neighbor and friend Lenny put his up pretty high, but he was lighting them off from the front, so he didn't light his yard on fire, which is smart. Or his children. He has small children. You don't want to light your children on fire.
Nope.
But he did some really good fireworks, and
it was good ones.
It's just too hot. I don't know. We don't go outside when it's that hot. Like we're like, okay, if we're in the Jeep and we're moving, we're okay. If
when you're moving, it's fine. When you stop,
and there's a breeze,
so yeah.
But the humidity, and I can't stand for very long. I get lightheaded. I'm super I'm talking about dehydrated. I slept all day, which meant I didn't drink any fluid, so we're in a rough spot.
She's in arrears.
I really need like an IV, to be honest with you. If I had money, I would be getting an IV tomorrow, but I don't. So anyway, it is 9:48 and we're going to do some gratitude. We have so much to be thankful for every day. And I think that being grateful is a huge part of living your best life and being happy. So we talk about gratitude a lot around here. Trace, back to the sperm. She says, no, it will live for a few minutes if it hits the air.
And it goes.
Okay, but like, hear me out. You rub one out right before you fall asleep. And then like a crazy lady who's standing outside
she
wants to have your baby.
Yeah.
Runs inside and takes it. And this person is a sound sleeper. I'm just saying he needs to be careful.
He's got to keep one eye open.
I think
Well,
keeping
one
his
eye closed.
He should keep his one eye closed because then she will try to take his sperm.
Mm.
She's gonna chase him down, put her finger up his butt, and get his sperm.
Oh,
She wants it.
it's good work if you can get it.
Well, woman wanting your sperm?
No,
Not a
having
crazy woman. Not
Somebody-
a crazy woman. Not a crazy woman. Okay. Gratitude. I am grateful for the independence of America and our beautiful Constitution,
I enjoy
which
that.
hasn't really been followed lately. So I have a little problem with that.
They're making shit up as they go.
Yes, she would drug him and take it that way, but we're not really supposed to be talking about it yet. But yes, she would. Trust me, when I tell this story,
it's not good.
it's fucked up.
It's
My
like
poor little
boil
friend.
your rabbit
But I told
kind of
him this was going to
situation.
happen to him. Did I not tell him this was
You
going to
did,
happen?
yeah. There was a pattern of behavior.
When
that
you're a
started,
responsible and handsome young man, you may not get the girls in high school, but before you know it, they're lined up around the block, and
they
this is the
made
first of
the
many.
mistake. They had their little baby from some other dude.
Well, whether
that took
baby
a,
or
took
no
a flight.
baby, but for the baby
didn't come
mamas,
back.
the baby mamas especially like
Yeah.
you, but all these girls, they're going to come to their senses one day and realize what they missed out on.
Like me.
I'm so thankful that I get to be here every night this week. We're so thankful you get to be here every night this week. Tracy's kind of like an unofficial producer of the show.
Yeah, she kind of is.
And we
yeah.
may start like letting people have like, if you want to produce a show, we'll let you produce a show. Trace says, oh boy,
Yeah, it is that kind of situation.
Yeah. wait, it's good. It's got intrigue. It's got religious figures. It's got like Texas. It's got all kinds of stuff. I'm grateful for that, but I can't talk about it yet. So I am thankful for cannabis because it saved my fucking ass today. I am thankful for sleep, which also saved my ass today. I'm thankful for yoga, and I'm thankful you did it with me. That was
I
fun.
was thankful for our little time together.
Which did you have a favorite yoga pose that we did today?
Pose? I've been having trouble with like my shoulder. Like when I get stressed out, my shoulders go up into my ears, and so this was kind of like everything to like just calm down and things like that. So between that and the meditation,
And we do yin yoga.
just
Yin
gets-
yoga brings you down, and his blood pressure has been down a little bit because you've been taking 2 capsules of red pepper a day,
Yeah, well, 3 actually.
3 times a day.
Plus my herbs, plus potassium, and I've been eating a banana a day.
But you haven't been doing the sauna, which you need to
I have
do.
not been doing the sauna.
And you haven't been exercising, which you need to do.
No, I have not.
So maybe we'll swim a little bit
But
when we're done.
Here I am.
Then also I'm thankful for breath work, which we did not do today. But, you know, hang on. That may not be what I would. I'm thankful for breath work. I'm thankful that you helped me today. Thank you so much. And I'm always thankful for you.
How did I help you today?
Oh, you brought me snacks and like
Oh, best thing this morning. She's like, I want like a good breakfast, and I think she wanted like a little comfort food. So like I used to make her potatoes, eggs, and bacon, right?
it wasn't
Like,
really
and
comfort
it was-
food that I wanted. It was just
But she's
hungry.
like, but her face was like, I want, and she gets all mad. She's like,
breakfast.
I want potatoes and bacon and like eggs. And
But
like,
it was all organic.
but she was so like her
And
face
we had
and, like,
grapefruit
the
too, which
fact
is very good for
she
our
was-
blood pressure.
Yeah, she was so angry at the food that I'm like, yeah, I
He was also in a lot of pain, and that made me angry because I really wanted to hang out with my little neighbor friends today.
yeah, no, it was kind of a tough day for you.
And the little neighbor friends, meaning both like the little ones, and also
And the
the
parents.
hot ass
Yeah,
mom
and
and the
parents.
dad. The dad's, and I wanted to see Auntie Sue and Uncle Rob.
Oh yeah, I wanted to see them.
We missed you, Auntie Sue and Uncle Rob. Tracy says she can't wait. Everything is bigger in Texas, and she was hangry. I really
Well, she
wasn't.
wasn't hangry. She
I
was
wasn't.
just
I know it sounds like I was, and I'm familiar with that emotion, but I was just like, I need food.
It was
I
almost
just
like
really,
she was
I
like
was hungry. I needed
she
it.
deserved that food.
No,
Like,
I
she
just
was
need it. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm not hungry
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all. Sometimes and I'm not hungry at all, and then sometimes I'm like, feed me.
Oh, I meant to drink that other green juice today, but I did not.
I didn't drink my green juice either.
No, I had to
I
put it
actually
back.
took mine out of the fridge so I could drink it, and then I didn't
Yeah,
drink
never
it.
drank.
There's 6 grams of sugar in that thing, but it's all from the apples.
6 grams is not bad.
I don't know. So Mark Davis was like, dude, it's of course it's sweet. It's got 6 grams of sugar.
They say
And I'm
under,
like,
if
6
it's under
grams?
10, you're doing okay, especially with all that
6
fiber
seems
and
like
all
a
that
lot.
pulp.
I don't know.
I think you're fine.
I'm also thankful for Doug in general. I'm thankful for our neighbors, the ones up the street, and I'm thankful that they invited us, even though we didn't make it, and I feel like a shit. But it is what it is. We can only do what we can do, and as much as it makes me sad that we're not there, I'm doing my best, and I've communicated that to them, and they understand, and they've been really nice and supportive. Like, I'm so grateful for them. I'm also grateful for Kyle. So, as many of you know, we've been struggling. This month we just was not on. I haven't been feeling well. We had a lot of company. We hadn't been promoting the podcast as much. We haven't been as prepared for the podcast. So, we were really kind of feeling down about it. And I was really upset about the people who we know that we've done so much for that haven't been supporting us. That like really pisses me off. I mean, there's only 4 people watching right now. Like I've helped way more than 4 people, and I get it. It's the 4th of July, but still, like these people aren't coming in like ever. Ann says 5 or under is the best for sugar, but that's added sugar. Natural sugars are 10 or less. So it's natural.
It's
sugars.
what Doug said.
So you're right, but I think it just depends on what you're trying to do. Like if you're a diabetic, it might be different.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would always argue that if you're going to have some sort of sugar or sugary substance, you should have protein with it to balance it out. So in a perfect world, if you had those, and we always do, you have a green juice, have a handful of nuts with it.
Yeah.
Put some nuts in your mouth. Put them in your mouth and maybe swirl them around in there and like maybe suck on them a little bit.
All right.
Sometimes you get to chew on them.
So
people are into that.
I don't know. About
sometimes you had me bite your ball sack once. I have a picture of it.
She misinterprets requests of the sexual. Yeah.
Then why did you take a picture of it?
I didn't take a picture of it.
Yes, you did.
You told me to take a picture of it.
No, you took a picture of it. I have the picture. You took it.
Oh, no.
You asked me to bite your ball sack.
I don't know. I don't remember any of this.
If you're like, Stacey, please stop talking about this. I will respect your boundary, but do not call me a liar.
Please stop talking about this because I don't remember it and I don't remember
hang on
it that way.
Hang on a second. You can say we don't talk about it, but you can't say, but I'm going to make another point here. That's not fair to me. Are we continuing the discussion or are we dropping the discussion?
We're dropping the discussion.
Okie dokie. Okay. We'll drop.
I have things to be thankful for.
Okay. Well, I was telling the Kyle thing, and then you can tell your thing.
Finish your Kyle thing.
So I was really depressed. So Kyle started following us, and I started following. Kyle had messaged me and said, "Oh, I've been watching your podcast," and he sent me a friend request, and I got chatting with him a little bit last night. Come to find out that post Hurricane Ian, he is an electrician, and he was working 20-hour days, 7 days a week for 4 months. They were literally helicoptering him to Sanibel to go fix people's electrical. And he, he cited that he made a lot of money and, but it doesn't seem like he got to really enjoy it all that much. And, you don't realize, like, if you have a kid out there and they don't know what to do, get your kid into the trades. Trust me, they're going to be making way more money than our college educated kids. Like there's such a massive need for people.
They're working 20-hour days.
But they're working 20-hour days because there's such a shortage, which means that they can also name their fucking price.
Right.
I mean, he's like, I own everything that I own. Obviously I don't want to get into Kyle's finances. Not that I know the details, but he's like, I own everything I own. I own a boat. It's outright owned. And he has a nice boat. Like he's working hard and he's making that money, but he's single. So I don't know if anybody's looking. I think he's single. Maybe he's not.
You don't know anything.
And he probably would have been talking to me late last night if he was in a happy relationship. And it wasn't like he was talking to me late last night. It was just, we were talking. And I thanked him for supporting us, and I told him how much it meant to me, and I'm thankful for him, and I'm thankful for people like him who work so hard. Todd says Celtic sea salt. We're big fans of Celtic sea salt. We talked about that earlier, but not so much. I don't know how you're going to put, I guess you put your Celtic sea salt on your tongue before you drink your juice. And I'll tell you that your celery is a very good thing for you. Tracy says the Ogleby doesn't like nuts. The OG lesby. Tracy found the perfect way to sign it. Does not like nuts in my mouth. Well, sweetheart, I don't know how else you're going to eat them, but perhaps no testicles for Tracy, but nuts only. And you might want to avoid legumes like peanuts because they are loaded with mold and inflammatory.
And beans.
The trades are where it's at. We need infrastructure to be maintained. These jobs are so important. I couldn't agree with you more. And the final thing I'm grateful for is all of the podcast, all of our haters that support us. They mean so much to me. Go ahead, you tell me. What are you?
I'm grateful that the rain held out last night, so that my son Wes could see his birthday fireworks every year. And they hadn't had it for a couple years due to COVID.
Did they get rained on like the whole time?
But they did get rained on, but the show went off. It looked pretty fantastic from the video I saw, and the rain stopped when they went home. So, and that was that. And they had a little game night before. And
well, if it rained, it would have been like walking home in the rain would probably suck. I don't know what sucks more, walking in the rain or sitting in the rain.
Probably sitting in the rain. I think. I don't know. But once you're out there,
sitting in the rain, just sitting in the rain. See, but we're Floridians. Like, we're used to getting wet for no fucking reason.
Indeed.
Charlie said night, Ann.
So-
Do you pull that up on the screen?
I will.
So you were doing your gratitude.
Yeah, my gratitude.
I'm listening. I'm just swimming.
I was grateful for that. And I'm grateful for this podcast. I'm grateful that today was a holiday for everyone to recoup and relax and do the things that are important in life.
Be thankful. Let's be thankful
But,
for
right,
the
yeah,
people that had to work today.
Thankful for the people that did work today,
Especially
and
the first responders. 'Cause they
first
had a
responders,
crazy day.
vets that have to deal with dog trauma at the kennel, as we know, with the fireworks. Not being glib, that's actually I'm actually concerned about that. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for technology. I'm thankful for Doppler radar because I had fun with that today with all our little storms and things like that. Putting it on my page. There's just I don't know. Every day is a gift. And there was one thing I saw today is that what people don't understand is that you think you have a lot of time and you probably don't. Or you only have your 82 years or whatever you get in life, and
82. Fuck that.
whatever you get, whatever it takes. So
I want to die this year.
So try and do something every day that's either important to you or someone that you love. That's about as sappy as I'm gonna get, but yeah, that's all I have to say. So anyways, we're past 10 o'clock. I'm getting out of the stand pool and jumping into watch hour. You guys are fantastic. And tomorrow's another podcast. So we'll see you then. You want to say good night?
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Bye.